Live. I apologize, we late people. I apologize, we late people. I do apologize that we late, but we got to get to some business, man. See, the business we got to get to is that there's a lot of nonsense going on today. Yo, this Nolan Wall situation is one of the craziest things I think I've ever witnessed on the internet. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing I've ever witnessed on the internet. We watched a murder take place damn near in real time. We watched a cover-up take place in damn near real time. We're watching people come on the internet and admit to knowing names of certain co-conspirators who contributed to a child's death, but yet they come online and say, I'm not going to tell the family, I'm not going to tell the police, I'm just going to wait until... I've never seen nothing like this before in my life, man. But Tatum is back at it again, man. Now, Tatum, as you guys heard yesterday, his raccoon chips have fully activated. Tatum has fully activated the raccoon chips. Think about the greatest raccoon you know in American history. Jesse Lee Peterson, right? And I'll be real, like I thought Jesse was top one. Tatum has officially surpassed Jesse. Tatum has now gone out of his way. First off, Tatum interviewing a bunch of these people to call the parents liars was already like a red flag. The lengths that Tatum is now gone to, I think Tatum needs to be sued. I think they need to go after Tatum. Because, yo, how reckless this man is. This man came on his platform and accused Nolan Wells of being a drug addict, accused Nolan Wells of damn near being a sex addict. I'll be real, because that's damn near what Tatum was saying, that Nolan is this sex addict because he was apparently, you know, like being intimate in the middle of an ocean in front of everybody. Well, like, what kind of nonsense are we talking about here? So we're going to get to everything in this live stream, and we're also going to address the Katie and Bart drama, the situation with Bart, and if we're not wrapped up by then, we'll get into Candace Owens, among other things, okay? So let's get started, man. So how y'all doing, people? Somebody says Clarence Thomas is the #1 Uncle Ruckus in American history. Maybe, because Clarence be tripping. Clarence be tripping. All right, Clarence be tripping. Oh, man. Somebody says a good-ass BLT needs. Nah, it's a fact. Okay, let's get... First off, we're going to start up right and early. We're going to send a few people to troll heaven, okay? We're going to send a few people to troll heaven. Let's get them to troll heaven real quick, okay? People, I want y'all to say, nah, 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 nah. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. And we're going to say goodbye to Mark Oliver, okay? Mark Oliver, nah, 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 nah. Hey, 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 goodbye. Let's do our goodbyes to Mark Oliver. Mark Oliver just got sent to troll heaven, all right? All right? We hope the other fallen soldiers welcome you in troll heaven, Mark, right? Now, hopefully we don't gotta send anybody else to troll heaven. Okay, but Mark, sayonara to troll heaven. Right? Goodbye to troll heaven. Okay, goodbye, Mark. Yes. Nah, 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 nah. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Goodbye, Mark. All right. Enjoy troll heaven. Okay, enjoy it. I hope you do. Okay, Mark. I hope you do. Now, let's get to Officer Tatum. So, Officer Tatum did a live stream yesterday where, yo, this dude has completely walked back everything he has ever said about Nolan Wells in a situation, right? But the thing about walking things back is you have to walk it back and also acknowledge where you originally stood. Officer Tatum is such a crafty raccoon. He is walking back the very things he initially said, which is there's no evidence foul play happened. Why would y'all say foul play happened? To now he's saying Nolan Wells was murdered. But he was refusing to acknowledge that he was condemning people for saying foul play happened. But instead, he's now trying to, like, revisit, right? and change history. He's now trying to present it as if, no, y'all was saying the kids on the boat killed Nolan, so I said those kids didn't kill. No. You said Nolan was not murdered, and there's no evidence to suggest that, right? It doesn't matter who people said did it. You said there was no evidence to suggest foul play. This was a drowning, and you was condemning people for suggesting this was foul play. Now Tatum has completely walked it back, and now Tatum is saying there's foul play. But he's saying there's foul play as if that was always his original stance. Because the evidence, the audio, and everything that has came out have already suggested there's foul play. Now, here's the thing. The very same people, his friends, his quote-unquote friends, who also said there's no foul play, now the friends are also saying, well, we know more information. There actually was foul play. There was drugs involved. There was this dude who was fighting him. All time, bro. People, the malarkey that we found out yesterday will make your heart drop. But let's get into it, okay? Let's get into this malarkey from Officer Tatum, and then we'll get into the Katie and Bart drama, among other things, okay? So how y'all feeling, people? How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling, okay? Cash 'em Cowboy says, give me my credit, Flacco. Officer BLT Bootlicker Tatum. You've been using his nickname for him since my last super chat. That merch going crazy. Man, shout out to you, Cash 'em Cowboy. Also, too, we'll read every super chat at the end of the segment. So after this alternative video, we'll read a super chat. So get in your super chats before we're done with this segment so I can read it, okay? If you want me to read something, get in your super chats, all right? Let's get to it, man. Tatum. All right, look at the nonsense Tatum had to say. Come on, let's get to it. 1 second, people. We gotta turn up the audio. I apologize. I should have been more prepared. Let's get to it, though.
Time to be more. Nolan last after back against well. So you do the Synergy Day, Synergy Night, SynergyLife.com, Synergy.
Now I want to say this. This dude is shameless. This man is promoting Synergy during a live stream about an 18-year-old's death, tragic death, where he's about to discuss this 18-year-old damn near being murdered or drugged. And he's promoting Synergy. Shameless grifter. Shameless.
Life.com that was just presented to me, which could allude to potential foul play.
Okay, well, let me introduce it for the people who just joined, because we just had a surge of like 500 people who just joined, okay? Officer Tatum went live yesterday, and on his live stream, Officer Tatum accused Nolan Wells of being on coke. He accused Nolan Wells of clapping cheeks in the middle of an ocean in front of thousands of people, being a sex addict. So Tatum is now walking back his claims that there was no foul play. All right, he's now claiming there is foul play, and the same people who told Nolan Wells parents they have no idea what went on, they're now all of a sudden speaking to Officer Tatum out of all people, okay? This is very, very
Something
strange.
Real quick,
okay,
before I get to this news that was just presented to me, which could allude to potential foul play against Nolan Wells. And let me just say this right off the bat. There's alcohol involved. What is being told to me that 100% there's cocaine involved. There's multiple people involved. People that may have seen Nolan last, but is not being truthful and coming forward as to what they saw, who was with him last. And we have various people that have come out or come to us with the information. And one was sent in a DM honing in on one particular person that may have been in an altercation with Nolan. Now,
yo, do y'all know who that person is? Okay, so first off, I want to ask y'all a question, okay? Do y'all believe Tatum? That's the first question. Do y'all believe Tatum? Because this is very strange. Because if Nolan Wells parents have an open tip line, and Benjamin Crump got an open tip line, but nobody else have brought in a tip, which makes me think this tip is coming from the people that Officer Tatum sat down with. Because those are the only people who are refusing to speak to Nolan Well parents, right? Like Nolan Well quote unquote friends are the only people who are not sitting down with Nolan Well's parents. Everybody else is sending in tips. So if these tips that are being sent in have not been given to the police, they have not been given to Nolan Well parents, they're only being given to Tatum. Now, some people said, hey, Flacco, Nolan Well friends could be giving Officer Tatum this bad information to get people from off their trails and off their tails. I think that's a possibility. But I also think, right, that because what happened to Nolan is so sketchy and so diabolical and so devious that we do have to chase any and every lead, right? So let's hear out Tatum. Now, Tatum does get to a point where it gets disrespectful, right? It gets disrespectful. And we're going to address the disrespect as it happens, of course. But let's hear him explain how these mysterious people told him that there was actually 100% foul play in Nolan Well's death. All of a sudden, after 3 weeks of us screaming foul play, now all of a sudden they're coming to our side and saying there was foul play, people. Now do you see why it's important to stick to your guns? Now do you see why it's important to not let anybody like take you off your pivot and to believe in what you think? Huh? Because these people had us convinced we were crazy. These people told us we were nuts, right? Now, here's the thing, okay? The same people, now I want to know where the black Republican at, right? I want to know where the black Republican at. Because he's the, wait, hold on. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? The black Republican has been in our chats every live stream. Every live stream, the black Republican have been in our chats every live stream screaming, there was no foul play, he drowned, what are y'all talking about, what are y'all doing, y'all are crazy. Now, all of a sudden, when even Officer Tatum and the others have came out and said, there was foul play, we don't see black Republicans in the chat. Huh? We don't see him in the chat. Exactly, said like, now, at all, we don't see him in the chat, at all. Oh, I wonder why. I wonder why he not in the chat anymore when Tatum is saying, oh yeah, yeah, there was foul play. Now, let's go, man, all right? Let's tap in, come on.
The information, and one was sent in a DM honing in on one particular person that may have been in an altercation with Nolan. Now, this appears to be post the phone call and the boys that I talked to who had already left. And I've been telling people that it appears that the young men that I interviewed had nothing to do with this. And the sentiment still continues. I have names. I know who these people are. My goal with this is to present it to law enforcement before I say anybody's name.
Your goal is to present it to law enforcement. Okay, so why haven't you? Wait, I'm so confused. If your goal is to present it to law enforcement and you have names of people who are involved in the murder of Nolan Wells, it doesn't take a day to contact law enforcement, bro. It doesn't. You could get it to Nolan Well parents same night. You could get it to the police the same day. It doesn't take you, what? It's going on 3 days now? It doesn't take you 3 days, bruh. Now, Tatum would even say, by the way, Tatum would even admit a little later in this video that he has had the details involving, like the cocaine dealer that he claims provided Nolan cocaine. He had that detail for a while now, but the police still don't have it. So why have you kept information from the police? Why? Why haven't you gone to the police with these names? Why haven't you gone to the police with this tip? What type of sick nonsense are you on? It sounds like what Tatum is truly doing, and I'm telling you, this is what he's doing, okay? Tatum understands that if he gives this information to Benjamin Crump or the police or to Nolan Wall's mama, they will provide the information to the public. And then Tatum, all of a sudden, his proprietary information, right? His quote unquote insider source or insider information is all gone. So this creep is now hoarding all the quote unquote inside information he apparently has because he want to be the only one who has it so he can come on YouTube and slow roast it and slow cook it out. Like, for example, when he interviewed Nolan Well Friends, he did a 7-part series. He broke it down in 7 parts to monetize as much as he could from it. He didn't just release it. No, because he wants to monetize as most as he can from it. He now has insider quote-unquote information on somebody that could have potentially given Nolan Wells a deadly substance that contributed to his death. And he has another tip of somebody else who could have potentially gotten into a fight with Nolan Wells and drowned him. But he's not given the source or the information out yet to the public or to the police because he wants to do a 20-part live stream breaking it all down specifically. This is nasty stuff, bro. Tatum, you are Tatum, bro, you're going to get your karma, bro. You're going to get it.
My goal with this is to present it to law enforcement before I say anybody's name. But I'm going to let you guys know what I have heard so you can have a perspective, because when the autopsy comes out, or at least the toxicology results comes out, it's going to prove whether or not people are saying things to me that are not true or the sources that I believe are verified are accurate. Before we get to that, I need to follow up and dispel this mythical phone call, because I think people are still pushing this. And I've been telling you guys from the very beginning that I think that they're pushing people in the wrong direction. When you get information that leads you to believe that this group of people had nothing to do with it, you need to move on and look at other leads. And I feel like in this case, people are so hell-bent on making it about race and making it specifically about these white boys like low-hanging fruit because they reported he was missing. They seen him on the day of the thing. Y'all just jumping into conclusions, making it.
That's why I'm so suspicious at the information that Tatum is providing, because he already told us what his motives are for providing it. He wants us to stop considering other options. Now, here's the thing. Nobody is saying, right, that these kids definitively killed Nolan Wells. All we're saying is they are suspects. That audio we heard, we can't unhear it. That audio we heard, there were people saying, he's dead. Nolan. So did they know Nolan Wells was dead before they left the island? Did they know he was dead before they left the island? Okay, if they're saying, hey, we didn't kill him, okay, cool. Did they know he was dead then before they left the island? Because now all of a sudden, Tatum, they are giving you a lot of answers. They're giving you a lot of information, including coke dealers, fights that Nolan Wells was in after claiming Nolan Wells was not in a fight. They said they have no clue if Nolan Wells was in a fight. Now they're saying, oh no, he was in a fight. Right? So the purpose of this content and the purpose of these new accusations that Tatum is now trying to put on Nolan Wells is to get us to get off the backs of the people on the boat. When somebody who is fair would say, the people on the boat are suspects, these new people are suspects. The people on the boat are suspects, these new people are suspects. And when we figure out the person who murdered Nolan Wells, then we can exonerate everybody. But until we find out who murdered Nolan Wells, everybody is a suspect. Why is Tatum so beholden on getting us to stop investigating? What's wrong with an investigation? The police lines up all the possible suspects and everybody gets investigated until the answer is brought forth. Ain't that how they do it? Ain't that how they work? So why is Tatum so, bro, he is so committed to getting us to get off the backs and stop investigating it. No, we're going to still investigate them. Now, if you have another suspect you want to give us, give it to us. Give it to us. All right, give it to us, man. Huh? All right? Hi, Mr. Toe want to know. All right? Love So True want to know. Okay? Kemi 405 want to know. Come on. Cookie 278 want to know. I know for a fact Rory Bishop want to know. We want all the suspects. Give us the suspects. Let us break it down. Von Davis, facts. Let's break it down. Let us get to it. UDR podcast, that's a fact. Diddy, that's a fact. That's a fact. Let's get to it. Why are you slow roasting the content out? What? Again, it's not the information out. Why are you slow roasting? Give us the information and we will figure out who's a suspect and who's not a suspect. Give it to us and we will figure out, all right, who deserves our attention and who don't deserve our attention. But if you think we're about to take the word of a tap dancer like you, Tatum, for who a suspect and who's not, you out of your mind. There are certain people who are just unqualified for certain conversations, right? Like, for example, I'll be honest here, right? Like for example, okay? Like, for example, all right? If you want to have a conversation with me about, let's say, Liberians, right? You probably don't want to have a conversation with Flacco about Liberians because I have my biases. That's fair, all right? I will sit out the conversation about Liberians because I'm Liberian. We disqualify you, Tatum, when we're having a conversation about a white man's guilt. I'm sorry, you are disqualified. You have never met a guilty white man. You have never met a white man that's guilty. You are disqualified from these conversations when we're discussing a white man's guilt. So give us the information and let us decide which white man is guilty and which is not. Straight up. All right? Straight up. Oh yeah, hey, Deshaun Clark will also be discussing in this video the tip hotline number going to Warren's mama. The tip hotline number going to Judge Ashley Cole. We'll be discussing the tip hotline going to Judge Ashley Cole. Just sit and wait. We got a lot planned today. Just sit and wait. We're discussing that too. These people done lost their mind, man. They done lost their mind, bruh. Oh, they done lost their mind, huh? The $125,000, the tip hotline goes to Judge Ashley. Oh, no. We is getting to that too. Don't worry.
That I got today, and I really been holding some of it for the last several days. I just needed to verify a few things that people should have been going in another direction instead of wasting time with these boys that I had already been vindicated. Let's go to the toe call, and this is on Nancy Grace's show. And hopefully I get an opportunity to talk to Nancy Grace about this because I just feel like you have to be very mindful and doing due diligence before you put these things out on the internet, given the fact of the confusion that it could cause. Just real quick, this is why I don't believe that. I think people are hearing what they want to hear and not what is said. Either this is doctored or people are hearing things that they want to hear and not what's said. Because there is verifiable proof from people that spoke to me and also law enforcement that people had seen Nolan after this call had occurred and after the boys had left already. So that creates an impossibility.
Yo, we don't trust, listen, bro. Yo, if the family doesn't trust these people who are investigating and we damn sure don't trust you, right? Give us the quote-unquote people who are claiming they saw Nolan and let's do the work. Benjamin Crump wants the names. The parents wants their name. They listen, how are the parents being iced out of this investigation. Rich by Design, shout out to you, man. All right, love, bro. How are the parents? The parents. How are the parents being iced out of this investigation? But somehow Tatum has all the information. It doesn't make sense.
That someone can be talking about Nolan being dead if he's seen alive after this. And I'm being told in some of the things that I've seen is that people have seen him alive right before 6 p.m., which is over an hour after this happened.
3 of Nolan's friends have done TikTok interviews claiming the white boys is guilty, and they did it. We were told to disregard the 3 friends, but yet you want for us to regard the 2 or 3 random people who are telling you this information. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. Nolan's friends literally said, hey, the boys was cleaning out a boat when we drove by. Hey, the boys told us that Nolan was dead before anybody else knew, right? When they seen him in the restaurant, they says, why would we look for him? Y'all already think that we killed him. So if the friends are saying this and we're told to disregard the statements from the friends because they're not credible, we're supposed to automatically take the word of 3, again, random sources that nobody has vetted, but apparently these 3 random sources are supposed to be logged. Do you understand how much tips that have came in? Benjamin Crump and their family have received over 100 tips that have came in. Are all those 100 tips credible? Listen, if we're buying every tip that came in, trust me, if we're buying every tip that came in, these boys would be under the jail by now. So we don't, Tatum, understand this. Nobody is taking your word for it. Nobody is taking your word for it at all. Benjamin Crump launched an independent investigation because they cannot rely on Ocean Springs. Ocean Springs got a conflict of interest. One of the judge's son, Judge Ashley Cole's son, is one of the suspects in this situation. Ocean Springs is not reliable.
All right, let's get to the clip, and we're gonna further dispel this with TMZ's reporting as well. Roll it.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking.
Come on, look, look. Oh wait, hold on, bro. Let's increase the gains real quick, man. Let's increase the gains real quick, man. Did y'all see this? Come on. Okay, perfect. Did y'all hear that? Bruh, that's...
Yeah, roll it. I'm gonna further...
Listen, if you heard that audio that I just heard right now, and you claiming you did not hear, oh my God, Nolan,
dispel this with TMZ's reporting as well. Roll it.
Yo, Tatum, you are literally playing the evidence, Tatum. You are playing you are literally playing somebody saying, is he dead? What are you talking about? Come on.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
Fact, Joy Rowe heard it.
All right, of course. How far is the work coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey.
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. We're going down now.
What?
All right, pause.
Did we?
I'm going to get to Nancy Grace here in a second. But I want you guys to go back, and I want you to take another listen. Now, I want you to frame this within the context that clearly Nolan is still alive during this period. So let's remove Nolan from this context. Let's play it within the context of them mentioning things on the boat being either dead or whatever the case may be. Put this in the context of they're on a boat, they're about to sink, the bilge port or whatever it's called is not working, dead, damaged, they're concerned. Put that in your mind as you listen to this and tell me if you hear something different than Nolan, is he dead, and all of that stuff. Roll it.
This ain't looking well for. This ain't going good for Tatum, bruh. The propaganda ain't going good. Now, and here's how you know is like not going well for Tatum, right? So Tatum already covered this. Tatum already covered this audio, but he got cooked for it. Even the people, right? Even the people who are quote unquote on Tatum's side, even those people was cooking Tatum about this audio. So now Tatum got to come back a second time to cover the audio that he covered yesterday and got cooked for it. So now he's trying to convince himself that he ain't, come on, bruh. Son, that's as clear as I've heard that. That's as crisp as I heard that audio. That's as crisp as I heard that audio. Son, what? What? So now he's back again, trying to cover the audio he already covered to try to convince you because the first time he wasn't convincing enough. Now he's trying to be more convincing.
Roll it.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking.
It's
Can
not
y'all
looking
please come?
good,
We have a
Tatum.
membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey,
Is the
not
yes?
looking
How
good,
far is the
Tatum.
water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
What did we just hear? What was that? Straight out to investigative reporter Crime Stories, Dave Mack. Did you just hear what I heard? Now,
All right, let me move on from this because she's going to interview another guy, and I'm right.
Nah, why you? Wait, hold on. Why you want to move on? Why you want to? Wait, hold on. Why you want to move on from the white woman who's a former prosecutor? See, people don't know Nancy Grace's body, right? They don't know her body. They just know her as she's somebody who was who's been on TV for as long as we can remember, talking about homicides, talking about true crime. They don't, why you want to fast? Nah. Nancy Grace is a former prosecutor. Nancy Grace, her literal job was to look at these scenarios, was to look at these situations and scenarios and figure out patterns and figure out what's fluff and what's not. So if Nancy Grace, the former prosecutor, is telling you, Tatum, nah, this ain't looking good. If the former prosecutor is listening to that audio and she hears exactly what we hear, come on, bruh. Come on. Nah, bro, don't fast forward, nigga.
I gotta get through this. You guys can watch that on. Just go to her channel. You can see what her interview was. Now, I'm trying to help us not get too caught up and and people look like fools. So now go to the TMZ article real quick, the TMZ presentation. TMZ played this, all of the above. Y'all were DMing me to death about this on TMZ. Let me just read this real quick from what TMZ said. Evidence appears to show Nolan Wells was still on Horn Island when his friend's boats left.
If you scroll down to the bottom of that TMZ article, they tell you based on, sources, not based on evidence, based on sources. Bruh, if we're listening to sources, these kids will be under the jail. Direct
knowledge of the investigation claim authorities have evidence of Nolan being on the Mississippi Barrier Island. Let's see, after the boat departed on the 4th of July, which will be a huge development. We're told that at least 2 witnesses who were interviewed by law enforcement say that they saw Nolan on the island after the boat headed back to the mainland. That's significant for many reasons. Now, what do you guys got to say about this? TMZ, who put it out, reiterated that there's people that are saying they saw Nolan afterwards. It continues. TMZ enhanced the audio of Nolan's friend's frantic call for help when their boat was sinking, and people believe you can hear someone saying, "Is he dead?" But our sources tell us people on the boat have heard the enhanced audio and are telling people around them the audio is only panic from a boat sinking.
But hey, listen, man, son. Panic from the boat sink. Wasn't y'all like still on the island? Y'all could have literally gotten off the boat and wasn't y'all on the phone calling for help? Also, too, by the way, okay, cool. If y'all was panicking because the boat was sinking, okay, cool. So where did the "he's dead" come from? Was it the boat? Was it the what? Was it the boat that was dying? Was it the boat that was dying? Was it the boat that was dying? Huh? Was it? Oh, okay, cool. They were panicking because the boat was sinking. Okay, so where did the Nolan, oh my God, Nolan come from? Was they just calling for their friend Nolan? Where did the he's dead come from? What, was the boat dying? Man, hey, listen, man, fam, y'all need a different representative, bro. I'll be real, yo, TMZ, right? Yo, TMZ bringing out Charles, I think that was probably more effective than bringing out Tatum, right? Like how TMZ like always brings out Harvey for all the legal cases, but for the Nolan, when they trying to convince us to buy into the lie, they bring out the black man to convince us. That was slick. We read through it. But even that was a better attempt at convincing us than Officer Tatum. Right? You're
If you
dumb,
put
Tatum.
that in context, you can see exactly what's going on. Now, let's move on because I was given this video. And here's a video of the actual boat as they're
the boat name is Nolan. They were telling the boat don't die because the boat name is Nolan. That makes sense. That's what it is, man. The boat name was Nolan.
getting towed out. Do you see Nolan on this boat whatsoever? Now, I did this so we can get context. Now, the nut job lunatics that want to believe what they want to believe.
Yo, watch how slow Tatum is, by the way. Yo, I want y'all to watch the next 30 seconds of this and watch how slow Tatum is. Watch this.
Now, I did this so we can get context. Now, the nut job lunatics that want to believe what they want to believe, don't worry about them. I'm talking of those of us who really care about getting to the bottom of this. And just hold on with me because we got to get to the new stuff that I just heard before we run out of time. So that's a video of that. Now let me present something else to you because this is
So again, slow. Tatum just showed us the quote unquote boat being carried away at around 4:30 p.m. Mind you, the boat was sitting since 3. They were quote unquote working on the boat since 3 p.m. So from 3 p.m. to 4:30, they had an hour and 30 minutes. Tatum just showed you them quote unquote leaving at 4:30, where Nolan is not on the boat according to Tatum, right? Watch how slow Tatum is. Watch this.
a video of what it looked like, and Nolan is in this video. We'll put the video up. Nolan is in this video. Put it on the screen. Pause it right here.
So let's show you Nolan real quick. So, yo, I'm convinced, Tatum, Tatum is receiving a script and just not understanding what's going on. Okay, cool. So this is, by the way, right? This is the kids on the boat. Okay. Now this is the kids on the boat. Look right here. Look, right? So this is the kids on the boat. This is Nolan right here. This is Nolan right here. So Tatum thinks a picture of the kids, quote unquote, leaving at 4:30 without Nolan, that right there is proof that nothing bad happened to Nolan. Now, here's a thought, Tatum. Did you ever think that the job was already done? That the altercation was taking place around 3 p.m.? All that panicking was taking place. They was yelling and screaming, Nolan, is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? Get up, is he dead? So if you hear an audio screaming, is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? Why would there be expectations that they was driving away with a dead body? Why would the expectation be they were driving away with a dead body? Wouldn't the expectation be if the audio says he's dead, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead? Wouldn't the expectations be to throw him off the boat and in the water to get rid of the evidence? But Tatum thinks that because there's, I guess, a picture at 4:30 of the boat going away without Nolan, that means that confirms that when they called over Nolan at 3 p.m., that Nolan never went over to the boat at 3 p.m. That's not proof, bro. They called Nolan over at 3 p.m. Katie says when they called him over at 3 p.m., Nolan Wells went over at 3 p.m. So from 3 p.m. to 4:30, we're asking what took place within that gap, Tatum. Show us proof from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. From 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Nothing happened to Nolan Wells on that boat. And Nolan Wells hopped off that boat voluntarily, went back, and they drove away. But showing a boat go like sail away at after 4:30 doesn't prove anything. It doesn't disqualify them for being suspect. We're not saying they did it. We're saying they are suspects. And we need all the information to disqualify them as suspects. Come on. Let's talk about it, people. Come on. Come on.
So this was sent to us as well. I'm sure this video is circulating anyway. If you look at the boy in the blue shorts, right where his butt is at, you move over at the edge of the boat in his butt, and that's actually Nolan standing in the water right there. I'm going to have the team play the video and pan it so you can see what environment they were in. Similarly, when the boat began to sink, roll the clip.
What? Like, wait, pause. Like, I'm so confused. Yo, are you saying that if you drive, what? Like, I'm so confused. Wait, pause, bro. I'm so confused, Tatum. Again, just two questions, Tatum. Like, you think this right here proves nothing happened to Nolan? Like, Tatum, you are saying that Nolan Wells was murdered on an island of 2,000 people. You are saying this. So if you have said there was foul play and Nolan was murdered, and by the way, this is Tatum's new story. His new story now, once he stopped lying to us, now he's saying Nolan Wells was murdered and there was foul play. So if you're saying Nolan Wells was murdered on an island of 2,000 people, then what does this prove? Then what are you showing us? What does this prove? You're just saying, nah, people. Instead of being murdered at 3 p.m., he was actually murdered at 6 p.m., but he was still murdered in front of similar people. No, I don't trust these folks to report anything. No, they're all part of the same circle. They're going to protect each other.
Pause. Do you guys see how many people are out there? Play it again. Do you guys?
Yo, after this segment, you're about to witness like how dumb Tatum is. Again, hold on to Tatum saying, again, hold on to Tatum saying, how could this happen? Do y'all see how many people was out there? Hold on to that.
You guys see how many boats are out there? So this is where the boat is at when they begin to become distressed. Right in this area. As you can see how close they are to the land. You can see where the coordinates were at. Right there. So when they're taking in water, when their boat is beginning to sink, because it's anchored, it's happening right there. So for somebody to believe that this dispatch call is a desperate call with Nolan laying dead in the middle of their boat, that does not make sense. And to think that nobody saw it when they're entangled within all these people, I think is a disservice. We need to get to the information that I heard. We'll get to Miss Rachel and her silly self. And Judge Mathis. We'll get to Judge Mathis. But what I was told, and you guys, please take in consideration that it's reliable sources. However, the only way to prove the truth in this is if I see it with my own eyes, if the law enforcement have the investigation of this, and also when the toxicology results come out. But people are messaging me and telling me that there is heavy drinking and there's cocaine involved.
Okay.
And there's a particular person.
Okay. Now, this is where he gets to the nonsense, okay? Okay. Now, this is where he gets to the nonsense, okay? This is where he gets to the nonsense. Now, I want to make this clear, too. I don't co-sign anything this dude is saying about. I don't trust this dude at all. And I don't think anybody should trust Tatum at all. But the information has been put out here, right? So we have to review it. I don't trust a word that comes out of this man's mouth. This man is a pathological liar. But here is Tatum. Here is what Tatum has to say. After weeks of denying foul play took place, after weeks of affirming that he believes that Nolan Wells drowned, he did the Stephen A. Smith interview. He got cooked during that interview. That interview made him say, man, well, maybe there was foul play. And then from that point on, he's now trying to take the stance of, or adopt the stance of, there was foul play. That's a stance that we had from day one that he was condemning us for. But now he's taking that stance because you can't deny the proof and the evidence that have came out. So now Tatum is saying, nah, these good white folks over here are disqualified officially as suspects, but I got some new information. I know who did it. I know the suspects. I know the names. But I'm not going to go to the police. I'm going to come on YouTube and do a 10-part series about it. So here is Tatum about to explain what he believes happened to Nolan Wells, okay? Here's what he's saying.
People are messaging me and telling me that there is heavy drinking and there's cocaine involved. And there's a particular person whom I know this person's name. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first. And
why haven't you gone why haven't you gone yet, Tatum?
Then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere in the investigation. But this person allegedly was offering people cocaine, and someone close to Nolan, one of his friends, told me that this person was offered cocaine and rejected it from this person. And I was also told, and this person told me that it's over 100% chance that Nolan was using cocaine during this period of time.
100% chance Nolan was using cocaine during this period of time. Two things here, Tatum. If you know who the drug dealer is, why haven't you told the police yet? Secondly, who told you? So one of the friends told Tatum, hey, Tatum, Nolan was doing cocaine. So now they're trying to set the play up. We ain't murdered Nolan. Nolan overdosed. He probably just died and overdosed. But then that don't make sense because they also told Tatum that apparently Nolan was involved in an altercation, and there's somebody who was an eyewitness to this altercation who wrote the person and told the person, you're going to go to jail. And he knew this information for a while. So he been knew Nolan was murdered for a while and never came out to the public. Now, I want to ask you guys a question, okay? I want to ask you guys a question here, okay? Now, the white friends who told Officer Tatum that Nolan was on drugs, was using coke, the white friends who told him, told Tatum, oh, I wasn't on it. I would never touch that stuff. We would never touch that stuff. It was just Nolan. It was only Nolan doing it. We didn't touch that stuff. What are the odds that the only black kid in a friend group of white boys was the only person to be on coke and doing coke? What are the odds that in a friend group of white boys that the black kid, who by the way was a star athlete and a college football player, was the only person on coke, was the only person doing coke? What are the odds? Y'all are continuing to disrespect this kid's legacy, and it's crazy. The way y'all are painting Nolan is inconsistent with how everybody described Nolan. Now Nolan was a coke addict who was so degenerate that he was sleeping with a woman in the middle of an ocean. Trust me, he gets there. But you see how they doing Nolan family? You see how they doing Nolan family? Now them white boys is claiming they don't touch drugs, they were not on drugs, they ain't never done drugs ever in life. Now the white boys who was also drinking with Nolan claim, no, we were not on coke. But Nolan was drinking alcohol and doing coke at the same time. And also he was degenerate enough to be sleeping with a woman in the middle of the ocean in front of 2,000 people. That's what they want us to believe. First off, man, if Nolan was on coke, them white boys was on coke too. I'm not buying nothing at all that suggests that Nolan was on coke. And all the white boys, 30 of them that Nolan came with, did not touch the drugs at all. We don't know where the drugs came from. Tatum, we promise you. Tatum, we promise you. We don't know where the drugs came from, sir. It was Nolan. Nolan was doing it. We ain't touching, sir. What? Nah. And the reason why they are not admitting that they were also doing it is because they understand they're all liable. They are all going to jail. If they were all doing coke and they passed Nolan at coke and Nolan did the coke, and that resulted in an overdose or somebody spazzing out and a fight happening, they understand they going to jail. Now, their mama is a judge. Their other other parents are like doctors and lawmakers. So they understand. Now, again, I don't know this for a fact, but they understand that if they come out and admit, oh yeah, we were on coke. Oh yeah, no. We were doing heavy drugs and he overdosed and we just pushed him because, we ain't want to, bear the brunt of it. They understand the consequences of this. But now they're presenting the facts and the evidence one way to make themselves look good and favorable, which is why we can't trust any information that comes out through Tatum, because how do you trust information from like somebody who is incentivized to make themselves look good? They are incentivized to make themselves look good. That's why we can't trust anything that comes out the mouth of Tatum, because the source are people who are suspects and are people who are incentivized to make sure when this information comes out, they look the best possible. A group of white boys, 30 of them, want us to believe that the star athlete black kid was the only person in their friend group doing coke. They ain't touch it at all. Man, y'all, listen, bruh. Y'all gotta find another script, bruh. This script you guys got ain't believable at all. It's not believable, man. Now, again, I was already suspect when Tatum just out the blue, from out of nowhere, when Tatum just out the blue, began to adopt the theory that something bad happened to Nolan Wells. Now we understand why he was adopting that theory. He was adopting that theory to be COINTELPRO. People, how do they infiltrate and take down a movement? What is the most effective historical way they infiltrate and take down a movement? They present COINTELPRO. They present COINTELPRO. They bring somebody like Tatum, put him inside the movement as a voice who, right, who have a similar opinion. Now they thinking, yo, if Tatum starts spewing rhetoric that leans into what they're saying, but then take this middle of the road stance, maybe some of these people will go over to Tatum and begin to listen to Tatum, and then he can convert them away from looking over here. So he's taking this slightly leaning towards our rhetoric, so y'all can go over there, start listening to him, and then he slowly drags y'all away. He drags y'all away from looking over here, because over here is what they don't want y'all to listen to. I'm being real with y'all. Man, listen, man, y'all know it. Man, come on, man. She who must obey. That's a fact. You know. You know it. Key got jokes. You know it. Come on, Key. Right? Yo, Key said he a plant. That's a, man, come on, man. Yo, no, I ain't capping. King Black Benjamin on target. That's a fact. I mean, bro, we cooking. We cooking. Come on. Come on. Bruh. Come on. Hey, but come on, bro. Devon, am I cooking? Bro, Devon, you know what, Devon? They probably put drugs on him. I'm not going to go for nothing right now. Man, that's a fact, man. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Come on. MK Ultra Tatum, 91 Tum-Tum. That's a fact. Come on, bro. He's adopting the rhetoric to draw people over there so he can lead y'all further away from looking over here where they don't want y'all to look. Oh, no, we looking at that audio. That audio is what got them panicking, right? Before that audio, they was above speaking. Before that audio, they ain't had nothing to say. That audio dropped. Now, all of a sudden, they got a lot to say. What happened to the bourgeoisie tone of, we don't got nothing to say, speak to our lawyers? What happened to speak to the lawyers? The audio dropped. Now, all of a sudden, everybody got something to say. Nah, hold on, man.
Was using cocaine during this period of time. This person said it was 150% sure that when the toxicology comes back, that Nolan will have cocaine in his system. Now, again, taking into consideration, this is somebody telling me this. I'm not saying it's me. I'm not saying it. I'm not able to verify it. But
then why are you presenting it? Then why are you presenting it? If you're not willing to put your name on the line for it, then why are you running propaganda? See, if people are telling you Nolan was the only person on coke, we ain't do a goddamn thing, Tatum, and they're feeding you this information that could be bad information. If they're feeding you bad information, why are you not willing to stand by it? Because you understand it may be BS, and you understand that Nolan parents are looking to take everything you got, Tatum. Man, Tatum, you is foul.
That I'm getting it from has been consistent, verifiable sources thus far, and hadn't been wrong about nothing. So there's a possibility that there's a person that Nolan may have been around or interacted with that is giving cocaine to people on this island, that Nolan may have taken the cocaine. And then also, I received a DM from someone DMing another person. Now, I'm trying to leave these names out because I want to not mess this investigation up. I think law enforcement already have this. That alluded to the fact that, and I messaged this person because I want to talk directly to the person that I saw the DM from. And we haven't talked to this person yet. But the person said in the DM to another kid that is associated, not any of the kids that I interviewed to talk to, but that could be associated to some degree, that knew Nolan, that this person wrote a message saying, me and my husband saw you arguing with Nolan, and to the effect of you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison.
But here's the thing. Why would that be sent to you, Tatum? Why will that be sent to you and not Nolan Well parents? Why will that be sent to you and not the police? Why would that be sent to you and not Benjamin Crump? Why? 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 Why will that be sent to you? So let's take it at face value and let's just say it's true. Wouldn't that debunk everything the friends have said? Wouldn't that debunk everything the friends have said? Man, Nolan did not get into an altercation on that island. They brought up multiple fights that took. Listen, Warren said his brother and him was in a fight. Tristan says he got into a fight and he had to get kicked off, or he left the island like the island early. Now, every time they brought up the fight and fighting in an altercation, they went out of, no, Nolan was not involved. So now y'all are telling us that Nolan was involved in an altercation. That there's somebody who they're saying is the prime suspect. There's somebody who they saying is the prime suspect. Hey, we seen you arguing and having a tussle with Nolan. We seen you. But somehow that information is being kept. Somehow this random DM is saying, yo, Nolan was in a fight. But Nolan friends who apparently called everybody on the island. Now, when they was doing Officer Tatum's interview, cause I know what's coming. They're gonna say, well, no, fucker, we left the island. We was not there when the fight happened. Yeah, I bet. But they also said that when Nolan disappeared, they called everybody they knew that was on the island, everybody they knew. The friend says they left no stone unturned. They wanted to know everything that took place. Am I lying? Chat, am I lying? D. Greetus, am I lying? All Greetus, am I lying? Am I lying? Hey, Cap 8, am I lying, Cap? Cap, answer the question. Cap, am I lying? Did they not say they picked up that phone and left no stones unturned? Huh? Hey, Kefa, am I lying, Kefa? Country Thug, am I lying? UDR Podcast, am I lying? My brother Deshaun Clark got me, facts, man, facts, no lie told. Thank you, Deshaun, thank you. They said they left no stones unturned. Come on. Yes, We Our Church confirmed it too. Yes, We Our Church confirmed it too. Yes, perfect. They said they left no stones unturned. No, none was unturned. Perfect. Satellite Mail confirmed it too, Satellite. Thank you, man. They left no stones unturned. They called everybody they knew that was on the island when they left. And after all them calls, and everybody that was in Nolan's circle, because they knew who was around Nolan, after all them calls, and everybody they spoke to, and all the quote-unquote good sources and good friends they had, no. They left no stones unturned. You mean to tell me that nobody told you, hey, by the way, bro, your homie who has disappeared, he was in a fight with this dude, bro. I'm just letting you know. And you mean to tell me that if they told you, you never told his parents this information? You never told nobody this information? Huh? 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 Come on. Thank you, Jakey Tarantino. Thank you, bro. Listen, man, bro, I know I'm not lying, bro. I know I'm not lying, bro. Thank you, No Bias. Thank you, bro. I know I'm not lying, bro. Bro, OG Luch in the building. I know I'm not lying, OG. Come on, bro, tell him. Tell him I ain't lying, OG. OG, tell him I'm not lying, OG. I know I'm not lying, bro. That's what they said. Katie just confirmed it. That's what they said. Katie just confirmed it. They said they left no stones unturned. So don't you think... I just lost my homie in October. All right, rest in peace to Whooshy. If Whooshy disappeared, and I tap in, hey, bruh, Whooshy disappeared. Where he at? What's going on? If he was involved in a fight, everybody, they would say, hey, yo, bro, hey, yo, Flock, Whooshy was involved in a fight. Hey, yo, Flock, da, da, da. Nolan friends called and nobody they talked to told them personally that he was involved in a fight. But now all of a sudden, when that audio dropped, when that audio released, when the audio of people saying, is he dead? Now all of a sudden, oh, no. We want to come to the table and talk. Now all of a sudden, we want to come to the table and have a conversation. Where was this conversation? Where was this tip at? When y'all thought we ain't have nothing. Huh? Huh? Where was this tip and the conversation at when y'all thought we ain't have nothing? Hey, Evolving Media, do you think it's suspicious, Evolving Media, that all of a sudden now, they got nothing but information and time to talk when the audio dropped? Huh? Huh? Come on. Hey, come on. Come on. Hey, bro, the boy MP. Hey, MP, do you think it's suspicious? Dominic Freeman, do you think it's suspicious? Do y'all think it's suspicious? Come on. Do y'all think it's suspicious? Do y'all think it's suspicious? Huh? Do y'all think it's suspicious, chat, that as soon as the audio dropped, now all of a sudden they all got something to say? Yoda G, that's how them folks do. Man, come on, bro. That's how them folks act. Man, Kwame Brown, shout out Kwame Brown in the building, man. Facts. Come on, bro. And we'll read all super chats at the end of this segment. Thank you. Bianca says yes. Thank you. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you. Right? Bianca confirmed it. So I'm not alone. Bianca confirmed it. I'm not alone. So now the audio dropped. Now all of a sudden y'all got all this information that y'all already had. So why did it take the audio to drop? It sounds like y'all trying to low-key snitch and tell on y'all co-conspirators, to be honest. Now, again, this is just my opinion. Because we know how them white folks do, bro. We know them white folks trying to come on lawsuit. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. But it sounds like y'all trying to rat on y'all co-conspirators, bro. That's what it sounds like. This sounds like, yo, again, when you think the police don't know nothing, everybody a soldier. When they think the police don't got the wiretaps, everybody a soldier. When they think the police don't got, everybody a soldier. Man, ask Big U. Everybody was a soldier when they thought the police ain't had nothing, man. The RICO came, now everybody telling. Now, all of a sudden, y'all got information. Now y'all seen somebody beat up Nolan and kill Nolan. So where was this tip at day one? Where was his tip that day too? Man, bro, y'all gotta stop this, man.
And to the effect of you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Now, the person did not say they saw a physical altercation. The person did not say what time they saw Nolan and this other person getting into an argument. Now, this is after Warren, their boat left. This may be somewhere around
Fact, exit
a
strategy
little
for
bit
sure.
before 6. Right around 6 or a little bit before 6 p.m. Now, according to the autopsy, which I interviewed a medical examiner about this, there is no evidence of blunt force trauma or an evidence that Nolan got into a physical altercation. So I'm putting all this stuff together, what people are sending me and all that, and I'm trying to find a neutral point to share with you. What I'm thinking at this point, with all that has been said, is that somebody knows exactly what happened to Nolan, or they saw him right before he died. I am not convinced that Nolan was just out there and drowned. It could be. That could have happened. But I'm more convinced now than ever based on what people have been telling me and DMs that I've been seeing, people that have been verified sources, that has to be something with this cocaine. There has to be something with Nolan and a girl. And there has to be something with Nolan potentially being in either altercation with somebody, which would lead me to believe that that person saw Nolan last.
We are going to get through all these theories, by the way, right? Because there's Katie and Bart, where we got to examine the ties between those two. All right, we got the Katie and Bart situation. Right, we have the Ashley Cole tip line information. We have everything else. But now Tatum has officially put on the record. Tatum went from there was no foul play to I'm not gonna rule out foul play. Now Tatum is saying there is foul play and he's not buying he was drowned. Now, why do you think Tatum is saying this after going to Mississippi? Why do you think Tatum is saying this after going to Mississippi? Huh? Why do you think Tatum is saying this after going to Mississippi? Do you think it's a coincidence? Yo, Tatum goes to Mississippi, has a conversation with Nolan quote-unquote friends, talked to Tristan, talked to Warren, and he said he talked to other people who didn't want to come on camera. After he goes to Mississippi, now all of a sudden his entire perspective and perception changed on this situation. After he talked to the people that he claimed is innocent, this don't ever happen. You have never seen anybody think somebody was innocent, talk to people they said was innocent. After talking to them, still claiming they're innocent, but now claiming a crime was committed. Hold on, bro. Hold on, cuz. I've never seen this before. I've never seen anybody speak to somebody who's innocent, then all of a sudden, their entire perspective of the innocence changed. I thought if you speak to innocent people who don't know nothing about nothing, as they claim, shouldn't, your suspicion of we're taking this out of context, we're race hustling, we're grifting, nothing happened to Nolan, shouldn't your opinion be affirmed? Shouldn't you go from, man, it's 50-50, I don't know. After talking to innocent people who don't know nothing, shouldn't you now be leaning towards, oh, he just drowned? But after speaking to the innocent people, you have completely thrown out the drown theory. You are now fully committed to Nolan Walsh was murdered. Why is that? That doesn't make sense. That don't make sense. The innocent people were supposed to reaffirm your opinion that Nolan Walsh drowned and nothing nefarious happened and people is taking this out of context. Because when law enforcement came out and says there's no signs of foul play, Tatum told us we were foul, we were nasty, we were this, we were that, because we called out the police for saying there was no signs of foul play. Right? 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 Tatum told us we were foul. That we were nasty for saying there was no signs of foul play. Now Tatum is saying, oh yeah, well, something happened to him. Then why was you critiquing us for criticizing the police? That's why I don't buy into the well, this is my opinion. No, bro, this was not your opinion. You were saying the police is doing their job and we have no evidence that they are dropping the ball when they came out and said there was no signs of foul play. Now you're saying, oh no, there was foul play. Man, Tatum, you should be embarrassed with yourself, bro.
And that this other person that's giving people cocaine. So this person giving people cocaine, a girl, Nolan, and another person that he may have been in an argument with, to me, are people that need to be investigated. And I can say more, but I'm trying not to get anything messed up in this case because I want justice for Nolan and I want the boys that weren't involved in this to not get caught up in stupidity. So just so you guys know, I know the names of the cocaine person. I believe I know who the girl is. And I know the name of the person that may have been in the argument with Nolan. And there's nothing conclusive that anybody's telling me where there was violence that occurred. But that does not mean that the violence is ruled out. That does not mean that something could have happened in the water.
Yo, this man is such a fence sitter. Bruh, I don't trust bruh, I don't trust people like this, bruh. Give your opinion. I don't trust people like this at all, bruh. This man Tatum just said, yo, this is some nasty work. This man Tatum just said, hey, they told me he drowned. They told me there was an altercation. Somebody wrote the person there was an altercation with, and the person told the person, hey, you're going to jail for life based on what they seen that person or Nolan get into. Tatum says, based off of this, I think Nolan Walsh was killed. There's foul play. Now, the fence sitter do not want to offend the white supremacists in his chat who called us, right, ambulance chasers all along. So now he's still saying, well, I don't think nothing violent happened. Then what are you saying, Tatum? Then what are you saying? You brought up the altercation and you says you believe it. You brought up the drugs, you said you believe it. You brought up the girl situation to hint and imply that the fight was over a girl. You said that you believe that as well, because these people are credible. They have not been wrong since. You said these sources have not been wrong since about anything. But you're still want to be a fence sitter? What are you fence sitting on? Even the most bad faith, disingenuous people have completely conceded to us now. Make no mistake about it. Them saying, well, he was murdered, but the first thing do it, that's a concession because they went from nothing bad happened. Y'all got no evidence, nothing bad happened. What y'all doing? But you still want to be a fence sitter. You still sitting on the fence. You still want to placate to the worst demographic in this entire situation. Tatum, you should be embarrassed of yourself, bro. Disgusted.
It does not mean that the violence is ruled out. That does not mean that something could have happened in the water. Another report came to me of someone saying that they saw Nolan with a girl, being intimate in the water to the point where it caught their attention, and they believed that they saw Nolan and this girl struggling in the water, not necessarily drowning, but struggling. Like it was obvious enough that the person was concerned when they saw Nolan in the water and he was with this girl. And that the person explicitly said that they were being intimate, which I don't know what that means as far as just kissing, hugging, cuddling, or something else. But that's what has been told to me. And these sources I think, have been legitimized. But what they're saying, I haven't been able to verify. This is just someone saying this, and I'm telling you what I'm hearing. So when the toxicology come back, if there's cocaine in the system, to me, that will validate that these people that have been telling me this are being accurate. And like I said, somebody really close to Nolan made mention that they're almost 100% sure that he may have been partaking in the use of cocaine.
So if this person is close to Nolan, now who's close to Nolan that Tatum talked to? He talked to Tristan and he talked to Warren. Why didn't they tell his parents this? Now, if it comes back that there was cocaine in Nolan's system, we got to get everybody out of here. Warren, you going to jail, bro. Tristan, you going to jail. Everybody is going to jail who contributed to again, underage people drinking and doing drugs. Because if a crime is being done in commission, again, if a crime is in commission when a murder took place, you got to go down for that murder. Or at least something. At least something. So Tatum will say all of this, right? Now, here's the part about Tatum. Now, here's the fence-sitting part that I don't understand. He will say all of this, right? Damn near imply this kid was murdered, and then because he's a fence-sitter, he now has to attack people who have been right all along. So he then proceeds to attack Judge Mathis for saying or giving his theory on how Nolan Well died. So don't get tricked as if Tatum is not seeing the light. Tatum is only seeing dollars. And Tatum understands he can't go too far, you feel me? Like he can't go too far over here because that's gonna cost him, right, his subscribers, right? It's gonna cost him the white supremacist who follows him. So here is Tatum, after saying all of this now, after saying all of this, he can't leave out the critique of the black man. So now he has to still critique the black man to placate to his audience of white supremacists. So here is Tatum now.
It's unfortunate.
About to criticize Judge Mathis.
I've been knowing this, at least that part, for a while now, but I didn't want to put his name out there like that, given the fact that he just lost his life. But now
you knew this for a while now, as soon as he lost his life, or just about. But you didn't put this out there, and you didn't tell the family. Why? Wouldn't this be one of the most crucial pieces of information? That there was drugs involved and people who brought drugs to the islands needs to be arrested? Do you understand what this would have done for an investigation? If the police had this information from day one, the people on the island who had drugs would have been brought in, arrested, put under pressure, and they would have been able to squeal and give information. But Tatum, you kept this under wraps? What? You kept this under wraps and saved it for your YouTube channel. Instead of giving the information to Nolan parents and to the police, you are a sick individual, Tatum. You are disgusting.
to get more information, the investigation is going further along. I'm just putting it out there. And we shall see if what is being told is accurate. But I'll finish it with this. I'm leaning more towards believing that somebody directly saw Nolan and know how Nolan died. That's my take on it. I don't think he was just drowning out there messing around. I think that somebody know more than what they're saying. And I don't think it's a lot of people. I think it's a few people that were last on the island with Nolan that know what happened, that seen what happened, or may have knowledge of something that will lead police in the right direction to find out exactly what happened. And I am encouraging you. I know some of y'all names. If it's you, you need to do the right thing. You need to go to authorities. And if you're there and you had nothing to do with it, you definitely need to go to authorities and clear your name. I'll say this: some of these people may have already gone to authorities. I don't know. The authorities won't tell me who they interviewed. So we'll go to that next step when it comes. I want to address Judge Mathis real quick. I got about 9 minutes. Here is where I think people should shut up unless they have a working knowledge of verifiable truth. If you want to give a hypothesis, say this is a hypothesis. Before you start accusing people.
Yo, this idiot just sat here and gave us nothing but hypothesis, nothing but opinions but yet you're shaming people for doing the same thing. But what's crazy is the people who are giving their opinions and their hypothesis, they're giving it from verifiable information. The audio is verifiable information. The audio is verifiable information, right? The GPS data is verifiable information. The first-hand account is verifiable information. Them having a phone is verifiable information. So the people are giving their opinions on verifiable information, and you are giving information on hearsay. But yet you're sitting on a high horse with your legs crossed like a diva, critiquing people who is given opinion from a more credible foundation, and they're pulling from a more credible foundation than you're pulling from. Bro, you have completely changed your opinion on this situation within a span of 7 days based on hearsay. You ain't get a screenshot from somebody who DM'd somebody. You got a screenshot from somebody who DM'd somebody who DM'd somebody. But that's more credible than the audio we heard from ourselves. Man, you got to cut it out.
Specifically, and throwing their names out there and trying to say Nolan Wells is associated with Emmett Till. You need to do a little more research before you say it, because if you listen to people like Judge Mathis, I can see why y'all think that these white boys did it, and that because he's operating with half or false statements. Roll the clip.
And then you've had different stories coming out from the teenagers. One of the young men himself spoke out about it, claiming they had begged Nolan to get on the boat, and that he wouldn't. Then there's the woman that he's supposed to have stayed back with. I think her name Katie or something. Well, he was supposed to have stayed back with Katie. That was their story.
Bruh. Again, the judge have said that somebody drowned Nolan because of the bruise in the back. And the bruise would come from somebody grabbing him and pushing him down. Now, that's one theory. Let's get to the Bart situation, okay, people? Let's get to Bart. Now, if you guys don't know what happened to Bart, we're going to break it down, all right? And if you're watching from the clip channel, this will be in the next video. So let's get to Bart, okay? So perfect. So Bart actually responded back. So let me update you guys on who Bart is by watching this video. Okay, so we're gonna watch this video together. Now, when this Nolan Wall situation happened, we heard about a lot of characters. There's a new character now called Bart that people is claiming is the new suspect, or one of the suspects. Now, the theory here is Bart and Kate has something going on. Nolan has been verifiable with Kate, right? He was with Kate, and that's verified. Him and Kate was having things going on the island. The new theory now is Bart got into an altercation with Nolan because Bart and Katie has something going on. So let's get into who Bart is, and then we will, break down and walk through the investigation, right?
My Glove, Fight Plus News, I'm Janaba. The case of Nolan Wells has now hit another level of discussion after leaked official audio of his friends, who some consider were not his friends, emergency call to a boat tow company will begin circulating online.
Right, because the audio now, okay, so, but even before this audio drop, if you listen to Officer Tatum and Warren's interview, we heard Bart's name during that interview. Bart was apparently on the boat. He was like a driver of the boat or something like that. But we heard Bart's name during the Warren interview. That was the first place we heard Bart's name. Okay. Now, if you're Bart, you gotta be pissed off at Warren, right? Because nobody knew who you were. Nobody knew your name. Right? We knew Eli, we knew Wyatt, we knew Warren, and we knew somebody else. And we knew and Javon. Bart now is now who they're claiming, right? Did it. And we know Bart name from Warren. Now, Bart name was also said on the audio that we heard. So let's get into it.
photo company will begin circulating online.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
Now, what was
So Bart was the one. Wait. Hold on, people. Hold on. What are you guys' explanation for the damn it, Bart? Was this saying damn it, Bart, because Bart was the one that was screaming shut up? Or do you think damn it, Bart was doing something they wanted him to stop doing? Was Bart the one screaming shut the F up? Or was Bart the one doing something they wanted to stop? Because they said, damn it, Bart. Let's hear it again. Damn it, Bart. Was Bart the one doing something they wanted to stop, or was Bart the one telling them to shut up?
Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut up! Shut the fuck up! Damn it, Bart.
Now, what was shocked listeners from the recorded audio was the commotion taking place in the background as the boat's driver, identified as Wyatt Pyron, spoke with the operator of Seatow while allegedly struggling with the boat.
Bianca says Bart was doing something they wanted him to stop. That will fall in line with the theory. Again, theory, right? Because until we have all the information that apparently people like Tatum is hiding from us. Tatum says he has all this information that the police don't got yet, the mom don't got yet, Benjamin Crump don't got yet, because he want to save it for his YouTube channel, right? Like he know names of drug dealers, names of people who got into fights with Nolan on the island. He's hiding everything because he wants to keep it for his YouTube channel. So until we know the full, we just got to explore different theories. So when they says, damn it, Bart, was they saying, damn, Bart, you ain't have to do him like this. You ain't have to knock him out like this. You ain't have to hurt him like this, Bart. Was that what they're saying? Oh my God, he's dead. Oh my God, he's dead. Nolan, oh my God, Nolan. Damn it, Bart. Was that the series? Do y'all believe that was the series of events? Now, we're going to explore this more, but just from the very beginning, I want to hear y'all theories first. I want to hear y'all theories, so I want to see how far y'all theory develop as we expound on this a little later in this video. So tell me y'all theory just from this 3 seconds, because as we talk about it, it's going to expound and is going to expand. Do y'all believe the theory is, oh my God, is he dead? He's dead. Oh my God, Nolan. Oh my God, no. Bart, damn, Bart, what did you do, Bart? Do y'all believe that that is the theory? Okay, got you. Okay, got you. Okay, got you. The Hood Gamer says, yes, that's the theory, Flacco. Okay, got you. Okay, gotcha. Get It Roger says, that's it. Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's the theory. The Bull says 100% as soon as I heard it. Evolving Media says, yes, that's it. Okay. Gotcha. Dirtbag Groove says, okay, that's the theory. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Now let's get to it.
Along with others, we appear to hear the word dead be used, along with something that sounds like Nolan, followed by a cry out of, oh my God, by a female passenger. Then a male voice saying, wake the F up or shut the F up. And lastly, someone yelling out, damn it, Bart. Now, some have gone on to attempt to debunk a few of those claims being reported. So in this report, we will focus on the words that mainly everyone agrees to have heard, which is the woman yelling out, oh my God, and damn it, Bart. According to a recent interview by Warren Hudson, the self-proclaimed best friend of Nolan, and who was identified since the case's earliest reports, the leaked call would be made just as they were getting help to be told by their friend Bart Edmiston, which means that Damn It Bart was more than likely directed towards Edmiston, who happens to be a former student of Ocean Springs High School and a now collegiate athlete for the University of Wyoming as their starting punter. Now, upon research, it can even be confirmed that Bart and Wells were also former teammates, as seen here in this picture, shared on Ocean Spring High School's football Facebook page, and ironically, what appeared to be a very wholesome moment of them next to each other, talking to elementary students, no longer reflects the status of where Edmiston and Wells have now ended up today.
Now, here, Nolan was a freshman, I think. Yeah, Nolan was a freshman here. Bart, I think, was like a senior. Yeah, senior, because Bart right now is a senior in college. Bart's a senior in college.
With one being a victim of a mysterious death and another accused of being behind it. Now, for those who feel Edmiston should be in question, mainly comes from his aggressive tone when seemingly yelling out, "Shut the F up" or "Wake the F up," before someone yells out, "Damn it, Bart," which for those who feel that the audio reveals a possibly dying Nolan was on one of the boats or near the boats, falls perfectly into the timeline after a female passenger would yell, "Oh my God," in horror as if she witnessed something gruesome. Suspicions for some about Bart also center around the lack of mention of him by anyone during this entire case, as if he was purposely being hidden. So who is Bart Edmiston Jr.? According to research, he is 21 years of age and looks to have left Ocean Springs High School soon after he and a younger Wells were teammates in 2022 to continue his football career. He is noted for being one of Mississippi's best high school punters, followed by several awards in his time in junior college, to just as recent as last October, as he would make the Ray Guy Award Raise 8 selection as one of the top 8 punters in the country with an average of 45.3 yards per punt. Back in 2022, Edmiston was named Athlete of the Week by Gulf Coast, Mississippi news outlet WXXV25.
My dad, which is also Bart Edmiston, I'm a junior, he kicked at the University of Florida, 1992-96. And then he's always wanted me to kick, and then I started it going into my 8th grade year. Last year I was the only kicker on the roster, so I had to do everything by myself, be my own ball boy, go fetch all my balls. But now, I have my little brother, he came up, he's in 10th grade, he's a kicker and punter also. But now I make him do all my duties for me. I'll make him go fetch the balls, he's my ball boy now. Kind of mean, but it's brotherly love. When I hit a good punt or a good field goal, I just chase that again.
Understand too, what we're dealing with here too. Bart, wait, didn't it say Bart father was in the NFL too? Didn't Bart father have a short stint in the NFL? Understand what we're dealing with here. Potentially, people, right? Potentially. Warren, the son of the judge. Bart, the son of a former NFL player who lives in a small town like Ocean Springs. He's a god in Ocean Springs. He's a god. A former NFL player in a small town like that is a god, okay? The other kid, I think Eli or Wyatt, their parents are doctors in that small town. The quote-unquote suspects in this situation is the son of a judge, the son of an NFL player, the son of a doctor, and the son of somebody, and I'm sure there's more people. Do you understand the mountains? If you're Nolan's poor mama, who's just a nurse, she's just which is why too though, I hate the fact that even people on our side will bring up, man, why is Benjamin Crump a part of this, Flacco? Do you understand the mountain that a nurse will have to climb to bring justice for her son if the suspects is the son of a judge, the son of an NFL player, the son of a doctor in a small town like Ocean Springs? Do you understand that without Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump, without those two, Nolan's mama would essentially damn near have no other option for justice. She would have no pathway for justice without Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump. It's really that simple. Oh my God.
Sources, Edmiston. Now, outside of this audio that has now placed Edmiston at the center of what happened to Wells, there already appears to have been a paper trail on him. As revealed by several sources, Edmiston met with the police and his boat's GPS data was also pulled. In a separate report, it goes on to say that Edmiston provided an investigator with his driver's license and boat registration card. Now, as we stated in our most recent report, we are certain that the FBI and investigators have the necessary tools to confirm what was said in the background during the emergency call to end all speculation. But until that happens, Edmiston now sits in the spotlight, as Wells' family and supporters continue to ask questions on how did a 6'1" athlete vanish amongst a crowd of hundreds of people and then be later washed ashore in the area he was last seen, with no witnesses coming forward when he was first reported to be missing. Now, as mentioned by state officials, the investigation on the mysterious death of Nolan Wells is ongoing, but it appears that the longer that they wait and bits of information comes out, only creates an environment for more speculation. As far as what should happen next, people like former Mississippi Judge Carlos Moore are expecting arrests to be made soon. On his Facebook, Moore would write, "We need some arrests this week." Now, across parts of social media, many would take to TikTok and elsewhere to share the reaction to the newly highlighted audio and their thoughts on what needs to happen.
The Nolan Wells case, I am convinced that he was strangled on that boat by
Is it just... All right, cool. They also touched on another, right here, this video right here. So there's another update. Now, apparently Bart is responding. So let's see what Bart has to say, right? And then we will explore the theory, because there's a picture that's apparently surfacing where they're claiming is Bart with Katie. They're claiming Katie and Bart has something going on. Officer Tatum, in a video that we, again, if you're watching from the clip channel, watch the last video, but the live streamers, they know what we're talking about. Officer Tatum said during his live stream that we covered that he got proof or evidence, or like he got told that Nolan Wells was intimate with a woman in the middle of the ocean. The only woman we've heard Nolan connected to was Katie. If people are claiming that Bart and Katie used to date, wouldn't that send Bart over the edge? Now, we're going to investigate that theory as well during this live stream. We're going to investigate it now, right? Because we're going to pull up that picture and we're going to confirm if that's actually Katie. Because if that's Katie in that picture with Bart, then we got some questions. We got a big problem going on right now. Straight up. All right?
I'm Janaba. The case of Nolan Wells looks to be one of the most interesting cases in recent years. A black teen in Mississippi goes missing after being left on an island by his friends, who happen to be a mainly all-white group, and is found washed ashore 2 days later. At the start of this case, local authorities to some spoke too soon by suggesting that no foul play appeared to be suspected, and then later reassured Wells' family and those interested in the case that it will be handled like any other case. Now, from our point of view, that could be the error, because Nolan Wells' mysterious death is not like any other case. On Tuesday, in the aftermath of a new piece of background audio being highlighted, a part of an emergency CTO call, many who not only fear what happened to Nolan could happen to them, and those who want answers would question and begin turning up the accusations against Nolan's friends who he traveled to Horn Island with. Now, in the audio release, interpreters would suggest that they heard things like, "Is he dead?" the name Nolan, "Wake up," and of course, one that has captured many people's attention, "Damn it, Bart."
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Hey, up! Shut the fuck up!
Depending on how you interpret the audio, it can be heard as the final moments to a crime, where one of his friends yells at another friend for taking a life, while others suggest to cover it up. If you do interpret it this way, it could answer how Wells could just end up disappearing out of thin air.
Tatum did say that, that somebody's seen Nolan like getting busy with a girl. If that girl was Katie, and if Bart and Katie had something going on, bro, that's a crime of passion, right? Bro, you walk in, you right, maybe on a strong collegiate, 6'2", 6'3", strong, powerful collegiate athlete piping down your white girl in the middle of an ocean with everybody there to watch. Nah, man. Nah, bro. Nah, hey, man, bro. Hey, bro. Bart couldn't take it, man. And obviously, I'm joking with the crime of passion, because ain't no crime of passion, bro. This was premeditated. All right? If you waited to slime him out, this was premeditated. If you wait to slime him out. All right? It don't matter how hurt your feelings is, man. All right? That strong, powerful, black, immense, tall star athlete with nothing but stamina, if he was putting pipe, he was putting stiff pipe and strokes in your gorgeous white woman in the middle of an ocean. Hey, I'll be real, bruh. Nah, you can't admit. Hey, fans, listen, bro. Listen, man. We real niggas, bro. All right. Hey, listen, man. We real niggas at the end of the day, bro. All right. I'll be real. Hey, man. We real niggas at the end of the day, bro. That strong, powerful black man was putting pipe, the most vicious of pipes, in your white woman. Listen, man. I understand being angry. I could understand saying, "Hey, bro, you can't ride back with us." Ain't that right? Right. That would have been reasonable. Hey, bro, you can't get on my boat, bro. I'll see what you did to Katie, bro. That would have been reasonable, right? But you can't kill the brother now, man, because the girl's going. Now, I ain't saying Katie was going, because I don't know if that was Katie, okay? Because I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know if it was Katie, all right? I don't know. But if he was putting stiff pipe in her, man, you gotta let the brawl be. You gotta listen. In the words of Lil Wayne, man. Hoes will be hoes who I couldn't blame Katie. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. I don't know. Hey, we have no proof it was Katie. But Lil Wayne says, man, hey, man, hoes will be hoes who I couldn't blame Katie. All right? You should have taken an L, man, and kept it pushing. All right? I'm sorry. Now, if you wanted to be a sucker, you want to be the king sucker. Now, king sucker is saying, hey, bro, you can't ride back on my boat because you pipe out the bed. Cool. Be a king sucker. Do that. But you can't kill the homie, bro. No. Hold on, bro. Yo, can you imagine the type of strokes that was taking place, bro? Yo, listen, can you imagine the type of strokes and the expressions on that white girl's face when Bart looked at her that made him go into this fit of rage if this is what happened? Nah, come on, son. Hey, yo, the facial expression, the right? With every ripple in the water, man. Now, bro, so cold, bro. Bro, strokes was matching the ripples in the water. Nah, hold on, bro. Hold on, son. Off the Henny and the Coke. Oh, nah. Bar was not prepared, dog. Bar was not prepared, bro. Hold on, bro. If the Henny and the Coke was going together, nah, son. Nah, Bart was not prepared for that, bro. Bart eyes forsake them, man. Bart eyes forsake him. Nah, hold on, son. He was giving yo good white woman, the BBC is enough. Okay? The BBC is enough. The BBC mixed with the Henny and Coke on the oceans. Oh, no. Listen, bro, the cold ocean breeze was the power up. The cold ocean breeze and the salt water had the BBC in Super Saiyan mode, man. I'm telling you real, right? The Henny was the God, man, high, man. The Coke was the high, man, high. God, man, high, man, high. The ocean breeze was the full Saiyan mode, bruh. Nah, Bart, nah, Bart, listen, Bart, I understand, Bart, if this is what happened, okay, you walked in on a good brother giving your good white woman that Henny and Coke pipe with strokes matching the ripples in the water. As the ripples was going like this, the strokes was going like, it was the stroke. You feel me? The strokes was matching the water. And that good white woman was losing her mind. She couldn't take it, right? She was trying to contain herself. And Bart walked in and said, hey, bro, nah, son, Bart, I understand why you may have been mad, but you can't kill the homie over that, man. You feel me? You got to charge it to the game if that's what happened, because I have no idea, Bart. I have no idea. But eyes 1300, I got you, okay? Let's get back on track, okay? Let's get back on track, because this is crazy.
Could just end up disappearing out of thin air. Now, a part of this interpretation, Wells' former teammate Bart Edmondson would be called out due to him seemingly being the person to angrily shout out, "Shut the F up," after panic would take over the boat, making it appear as if he had just finished doing something to Wells, in which you would also hear female passengers not being able to contain their emotions with what they were witnessing, as some are suggesting that they heard Nolan. On Wednesday, as more and more people accuse Edmiston as being a possible suspect, it appears that he and his family are now responding with their own attorney, conservative commentator Russ Latino, based in Mississippi. On Wednesday morning, Latino would announce that he is now joining the Edmiston family to clear Bart's name and go after anyone making defamatory statements. On Facebook, he would go on to write, "I have been retained by the family of Bart Edmiston to pursue people defaming him with wholly fabricated assertions."
Really? That's true. Bart, oh, okay. He did respond. Okay, cool. Before we get to this, because I know where he's getting. So before we get to Bart's response, because Bart did respond back, let's get to the video accusing Bart. Because here's the thing, man. Bart has NFL chances, right? Bart has NFL chances. Bart has hopes of going to the NFL. So Bart is saying, hey, bro, y'all not about to ruin my NFL chance, bro. Bart's a senior in college. So Bart's trying to sue. So before we get there, let's take a look at the actual accusation, okay? So here is the lady that made the accusation initially. All right? I think her name is Tisa Tells. They said, okay, this is Tisa Tells. Now listen, I've heard the name Tisa Tells before. I just didn't know the face. But this is Tisa Tells, okay? Now, Tisa Tells is saying that Katie and Bart were apparently an item, and that Bart may have killed Nolan because of his relationship with Katie. So here's Tisa Tells. Let's get to it.
Breaking news in the Nolan Wells case, and I promise you haven't heard this anywhere else. Bart, Katie, Nolan, and Trayvon. Y'all, let's get into this because we think we cracked this case wide open, but it's not just us. It's what the internet sleuths have also pieced together. You guys, we have to get into this. We believe we have motive.
Hey, talk to us, Tisa, because Bart family's saying they got a lawsuit ready to go, man. Hold on, man. Listen, man, that NFL money is long. That NFL money, Tisa, is long. So talk to us. Let's see the proof, Tisa. Talk to us.
We believe we have location, and we believe we had what really happened. And we are going to use Warren and Trayvon's own interviews, along with some thought they were deleted Facebook posts, and get into this. And I think this is the real reason why they all deactivated their social media accounts, because they didn't want us to know the history. The history of what? The history that Katie was Bart's girl.
Oh.
Who was Bart?
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's zoom real quick. Because I do have facial recognition software as well, where I can find out exactly who this girl is. Is this Katie right here? is this Katie right here? Because I know Katie's face, by the way, too. Is this Katie right here? I can't tell from this picture, but like there's a better picture out there, and we'll look at the better picture. But let's just hear Tisa tell. Okay, so Tisa tells saying this is Katie and this is Bart.
Bart is
Talk to
Bart
us.
Edmonton Jr. He is a promising NFL player. Well, he's a future NFL player.
Okay.
Comes from a
Future.
legacy line of football players. His family, his grandfather, his dad are big dogs down in Ocean Springs. And what's more, Katie was Bart's girl, Bart Edmonton Jr., and it is unclear on whether she was still his girl. Now, let's not forget, let's put everything in order. Bart Edmonton Jr., when Warren was giving the interview, he kept saying, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy. He only slipped up one time and said Bart's name. Now, the Marine Resource Division of Jackson County literally slipped up and gave out a freedom of information request. It actually gave us the audio, but what's more important, it gave the name of the person that reported Nolan missing to the Coast Guard. Oddly enough, that person was not Warren, the person that claimed to call the postcard at 11:45 p.m. on July 4th. It was, in fact, Bart Edmonton Jr., who called, I believe they said it's at 10:05 a.m. on July 5th. Keep that in mind. Bart and Nolan were not known to be close at all. But what's more, it seems like they had a woman in common. Now, we do know from the audio.
So Bart was the one who made the call at 10 a.m. in the morning. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because I think I heard from somebody else that there were theories out there that Bart was not actually there. But now Bart made the call. Now, I do know, by the way, one, that Bart was there, right? And even though there were people who was trying to, like, for some reason, like, say that Bart was not there, he was away in like Wyoming, but no, Bart was there. Like, Bart was present. Bart apparently gave his ID, right? Gave his GPS data over. So we know that for a fact. Now, Bart was the one who made the call the following morning. Now, I'll be real, the call the following morning to me is not as suspicious as the call an hour after Nolan was left on the island, right? Like, Warren and his friends giving a call like an hour or two later, like in full panic, thinking something happened to Nolan. Listen, if I leave my homie at the function, I'm not thinking like something has happened to like my homies 2 hours later. Now, a day later, cool. 2 hours later, if I'm in a full panic, probably suspect that I did something to the homie, because why would anybody suspect something is wrong with the homie that you left with a girl at the island 2 hours later, right? So the call at 10 a.m. to me is not as suspicious. But apparently Bart is more involved than we knew, because if Bart is making a call, that means at least Bart was attempting to be a part of the relocation effort of Nolan.
So Bart was in the comment sections. I have evidence, but let me just give you the preview. Bart was in comment sections on people on either Instagram or Facebook being like, I've been in Montana for a year. What are you talking about? Trying to act like he wasn't down there on July 4th.
That's where it came from. Remember? I just told y'all. I heard from some people that Bart was in Wyoming for like a year or so, which is what made it like kind of like suspicious. Bart was apparently there. Okay, now Bart, I'll be real. We got to talk about it now. Now, a man named Bart Edmondson, you got to put allegedly to his name, man. All right, a man named Bart Edmondson. That's a man with the top lawyer. You got to put some allegedly to his name. Bart, we got to be real now, Bart. Okay? Because if your name, because there's another piece of evidence that we're going to get to in this video where they looked at the call sheet for, I guess, like the report, right? Like they pulled up, I guess, like the call sheet of like the police report or like the Coast Guard report. And apparently Bart's name is on the report sheet as somebody who made a report about Nolan, allegedly. So Bart, if your name is on that report, but you're claiming you was in Wyoming, we got some questions for you, Bart, Now, your last name is Edmondson, so we got to put allegedly, all right? Allegedly, sir, it ain't looking good for you, sir. Allegedly, sir, it's looking pretty bad for you. If you was denying being on that boat, but there's evidence and proof you was on that boat, sir, you are now officially a murder suspect, allegedly, Bart. Right? Because, you know, you can't play with somebody whose name is that distinguished. Right? They ain't playing. Right? They want to make it to that NFL, bruh. If that means going after anybody, they want to make it to the NFL. So if that means silencing the truth, they're going to silence the truth. So allegedly, Bart, okay? Allegedly, okay? But they say you was on, Bart, they say you was on that boat.
Facebook's being like, I've been in Montana for a year. What are you talking about? Trying to act like he wasn't down there on July 4th. The whole story changed when the incident report came out.
Talk to
and
us,
his
Tisa.
name was on the incident report as the one that reported Nolan missing. And even though you have been, not Montana, even though you have been in Wyoming playing football, you came home for July 4 weekend. Now, let me get this, right? Someone posted a picture of Katie and Bart. Now, they tried to delete this picture, but everything lasts forever on the internet. They look real comfy. They look really hugged up. It looks like Katie and Bart at one point had been sweethearts or at least more than friends. Now, Bart's been living and playing football in Wyoming. We know the lives of college football players, right? And what happens when they leave their hometown sweetheart? That does not mean that that hometown sweetheart is off limits when they go back home. Now, listen to this. All right, let's start with Trevon's interview, okay? Because everybody skipped over this, but this stuck in my mind. Let me give you my hypothesis. I believe that Nolan messed up being with Bart's sweetheart, whatever she is to him.
Okay.
Bart is big dog.
I heard a theory before.
Prestigious family. He's bound for the NFL. He's even sponsored by ESPN. He has big things in the future, which is why the town, I think, would collude for him. I think some type of fight or something happened where they tried to sun Nolan. And, of course, we know what happened. But here is my proof. Just listen to me, okay? Listen to...
Talk to us, Caesar.
What Trayvon got to say.
Mad. I was genuinely really mad. But the last time I saw Nolan, I was walking to the boat. This was before the fight. It's me and my old lady. We had just got out of a group of people. Nolan was walking towards Wyatt's boat. I was walking in the opposite direction towards my boat.
Listen.
And I dabbed Nolan up. I made a slick comment about something, actually about the girl that he was with. I made a slick comment to him. Us joking around, and I kept going.
I made a slick comment about the girl that Nolan was with. What was that slick comment? Let's not forget Nolan was right next to the girl. Now, I know what you're saying. Who's the girl? Of course it's Katie. But if you don't want to believe me, let's listen to what Warren has to say.
And not even 10 minutes after that is when I got into a fight.
Wait, hold on, though. Yo, do y'all feel like the slick comment could be... Now, if we're following the theory here, could the slick comment be like you walking, right? Imagine you in, let's say, Tristan's position, okay? You walking like this, okay? You walking towards Nolan. You see Nolan is with this girl called Katie. Now, if Katie and Bart had history and Bart is a part of their friend group, you see Bart and you say, a word, Nolan, that's you, Nolan? What? Or what happened to Bart, right? Like, could a slick comment be like you walking, you see a girl that's with your homie Nolan, who's also has been with your homie Bart. Could that have been a slick comment? Could a slick comment have been a word? Oh, that's you. A word. A word, Nolan, that's you. Maybe. Again, everything is lining up, but it's all allegedly because that man's last name is Edmondson, right? And we don't got NFL money, okay? And this is Tisa Tell's story.
To this.
There, getting towed out. Yeah. And then where's Nolan in this situation?
Well, Nolan was, the last time I saw Nolan was 3 o'clock. And Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms, Katie. Katie. And Katie, Nolan was sitting there, and the last time I saw him, I looked at Nolan, and Nolan was like shaking his head laughing, and I was like, dude, you crazy. like just joking with him. And but anyway, Nolan, that was the last time I laid.
Wait, okay. Again, this is the second time they're saying, "Oh, you crazy? Oh, bro, we." Now again, though, it could very well be that situation where you see your homie with a girl and you start gassing. Oh, bro, that's you, bro. Okay, bro, I see you. It could have been a simple, okay, bro, I see you. But it could have also been where, bro, like, ain't that Bart, man? Wait, bro, like, ain't that Bart, girl? So again, it could have been two different things. The first option, okay, bro, I see you. That's harmless. The second option would tie into this motive if it's true, all right? Everything is allegedly, because this is not my story. I'm not breaking this, okay? I'm listening to Tisa Tells break it down, all right? So I'm not putting my name to this.
And but anyway, Nolan, that was the last time I laid eyes on him. But when we were leaving.
Now, why, if Nolan is cradled, first of all, Trevon or Javon, whatever it is, his name, he walked up to Nolan, dabbed him up, then said some slick shit to Nolan about Katie. Why Katie was sitting there. Could that slick shit have been, yo, that's Bart's girl, what are you doing? Let's not forget Bart is 200 pounds, he is big dog, and he is the hometown hero because everybody thinks that he's going to make NFL soon. He's also 21. He comes from a very powerful, prestigious family and a family that comes a history of football. So he goes up and he's like, and said some slick shit about Katie. Now everybody knows Katie. So what slick shit are you saying? Then Warren says that he says Nolan, and he said, and they both said the last time they saw him was around 3 o'clock. He looks at Nolan and shakes his head like, yo, you crazy. And Nolan shakes his head too. Why would you say, yo, you crazy, unless Nolan was pushing up on forbidden fruit? And even the way he was like, yo, he was cradling Katie as if somebody would have the nerve to be with Bart's hometown honey. Anyway, Bart, he's the confirmed name on the missing person Coast Guard report. Why would Bart, who's not that close with Nolan, make the missing person report? Meanwhile, why would Bart, who's not that close with Nolan, make the missing person report? Meanwhile, Warren is asleep to the point of showing that his dad had to wake him up to be like, yo, what's going on?
Well, to be fair, though, if the missing person report was made at 10 a.m., Warren was up by 10 a.m., right? Because Warren said he got up around 7 a.m. when his dad woke him up.
Also, he was mentioned in the Cito audio. We all heard him be like, damn it, Bart, stop. What was Bart doing on that boat when Bart had his own boat? Also, the cleaned up audio, you clearly hear Nolan's name too. The GPS location matched Fort Bayou residents on water with private deck access. So when they looked at GPS, when they get to the Port Bayou, that was Bart's family's house. They have a private deck right outside their house, and they have a pool in their house. And there was an attempt to conceal involvement by claiming to be in Wyoming for 1 year. Also, he came out the gate, I've been in Wyoming, until the audio placed him as being on the boat. But there's more, you guys. There's more. Hold on. This is Bart Edmonston. He's number 18 for Wyoming. I don't know. I think it's the Cowboys. They said before Wyoming, Bart Edmonston.
I don't need his stats. I need to know. All right, perfect. Somebody says, let's go to, okay.
Audio that came out. Someone mentioned him.
Let's go to Katie. Let's go to Katie. Find where she mentions Katie. All right, wait. Okay, cool. If she doesn't mention Katie, cool. I bet. So let's break it down, all right? So here's Katie. Now, here's the thing, okay? When I looked at the situation, when I looked at Katie, now let's break it down. Now let's go find Katie real quick, because I haven't looked too closely yet. I've only seen Katie's face, okay? Let me go Katie's right now. Let me go. Let's find Katie's face right now. Let's find Katie. Kate, let's go to Bart and Katie. Let's find a picture of Bart and Katie. And then we're going to find the actual Katie. Okay, perfect. Cool. So this right here is Bart and Katie. So this is who Bart was with. This is Bart. Now they're saying this is allegedly Katie. They're saying this is allegedly Katie, and they're saying this is her. I'll be real with you guys. Now, the first picture I saw, I thought this was Katie. Looking at this is not Katie. This is not Katie, guys. This is not Katie. This is not Katie. No. So why I say that's not Katie, and I'll show you guys why. I'm gonna show you guys why that's not Katie. So again, we're not exonerating Bart, but that's not Katie. Again, people, trust me. Look, I'll prove it to listen, I'll prove it to you guys. Trust me. Watch this. I'll prove it to you guys. Trust me, okay? Just wait real quick. I'll prove it to you guys. Trust me. Just let me cook. That's not Katie. Let me find Katie real quick. 1 second. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Let me pull it up real quick. That's not Katie. And you know why? Because this is, 1 second. That's not Katie because this is Katie right here. 1 second. We're going to find Katie for you guys. This is Katie. So Katie's name is Katie McCormick. Right? So Katie's name is Katie McCormick. This is Katie right here. And we know this is Katie because like Katie actually left a comment and under one of her friends' posts, because when it first came out that that day was with Katie, one of the friends and made a post saying, "Yo, do not include my girl in this. Like Katie is good." And all the black friends for some reason was sticking up like for Katie. They really love Katie, like they're really and like on Katie's. They really they really love Katie for some reason. But one of the friends made a post, and we're gonna pull up that post shortly, where they're saying, yo, like Katie is good. And then Katie commented under that post. And we have it right now. Perfect. Let me go to the post real quick just to see. Okay, perfect. Yeah. This is Katie McCormick right here. This is who she is. All right. This is who Katie is. This is Katie. This is Katie. Okay. Now look. Now let's do a screenshot of Katie real quick. Okay, and let's pull it over here, and let's also bring who they're claiming is Katie. Look, this is Katie, people. This is Katie with her bare face, by the way. This is Katie with her bare face, people. This is not Katie, bro. Be real. This is Katie with her bare face. This is who they're saying is Katie. This is Katie. This is, again, let's also do another screenshot of who Katie is right here. Let's do a bare screenshot. All right. Again, we're going to save this. Let's save this real quick. Okay. Let's also screenshot this too. Let's screenshot this and let's also save this. This is Katie. Cool. Perfect. Now, let's go to who they're saying is Katie. Now, let's go to who they're saying is Katie. And I'm going to show you guys why that's not Katie from my perspective. Perfect. This is who they're saying is Katie. Okay. Let's bring up the 1 second. Okay, perfect. I'm sorry, bro. This is not okay. Perfect. So this right here is who they're saying is Katie. Okay, let's bring it back. I'm sorry, bro. This is not the same girl. This ain't the same girl, bro. All right? She has dimples too. This ain't the same girl, bro. Right? This ain't the same girl. Now I understand, okay? Again, we might say, hey, man, but hey, people, we gotta be real here. All right? We have to be real. That is not the same girl, bro. Now let's also bring. Okay, cool. Let's bring the other Katie picture. Let's bring the other Katie picture. Cool. Let's bring the other Katie picture right here. Now they're claiming they're claiming this picture was like 3 to 4 years ago, right? Cool. We'll find pictures of Katie from 4 years ago. Bro, this ain't the same girl, bro. I'm sorry. This is not the same girl, bro. This face and this face is not the same. This is not the same girl. This is not the same girl, bro. I'm sorry. Now listen, I understand when we have a theory, but we have to be careful. These people are trying to muddy up the water. I'm not saying Bart is innocent. Understand this, all right? Bart was allegedly on the boat. They were screaming Bart's name allegedly. This could very well be a motive. Bart could very well have had a thing with this Katie or wanted this Katie. But I'm here to tell you, this is not the same Katie. This picture they said was from 3 years ago, right? Cool. No. Yeah. This was from 2022. So that picture was from 2022. That was 4 years ago. Cool. Let's go to Katie's page and find pictures of Katie from 4 years ago so we can put this to rest, okay? Let's go to Katie's page and find pictures of Katie from 4 years ago, okay? This is 2020. Cool. This is 20. Okay, perfect. Cool. This is a picture of Katie from 4 years ago, people. This is a picture of Katie from 4 years ago. Is this the same girl? Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. This is her from 4 years ago. Is not the same girl. Look at her. Look at Katie from, again, this is Katie from September of 2022. Look. September of 2022. This is not the same girl, people. This is a different girl. It's clearly not the same girl. Again, we can even zoom in on her face. Come on, let's go. Zoom in on her face. This is definitely a different girl. Now, here's the thing, okay? Now, Bart have put out a statement through his legal his legal representation. And the statement, Bart actually speaks on whether or not that's Katie. Let's go. Okay? So let's pull up right now. So this is the statement right here. I wonder if we could zoom in more. Okay, let's zoom in more. Perfect. Let's go real quick. Let's zoom in more. Perfect. Let's zoom in more on this. Cool. Okay, let's zoom in. So, cool. Okay, so Bart and them put out a statement with their lawyer. Hey, people, listen, okay? Listen. My goal is to present true information. I'm not gonna, right? Like, I'm not gonna look at a girl and say, you feel me? Now, again, we can also, okay, cool. So people say, ask AI. Okay, bet, we'll ask AI, okay? We'll ask AI if that's the same girl. We'll do that after reading this, okay? So Russell Latino says, now this is, Bart's legal representation. This is who is representing Bart. So Russell Latino says, there is a picture circulating of Bart Edmondson. Let's put this over here. Sorry. Right? Okay, so he says there is a picture circulating this morning of Bart Edmondson Jr. from high school with a young woman. Bart is now 21 and in college. In other words, the picture is old. People are certain that the young woman in the picture is someone named Katie McCormick, that Bart had an intimate relationship with Miss McCormick, and that he killed Nolan Wells because Nolan was speaking to her. The person in the circulating photograph with a much younger Bart is not Katie McCormick. We can say that definitively, not because Bart is in a relationship with Katie, but because Bart knows exactly who the person photographed is, so too would anyone who attended high school with them. Out of respect for her privacy, we are not going to identify her by name. Bart is not now, nor has he ever been in a relationship with Katie McCormick. He did not know who she was before the tragedy occurred. Let me be abundantly clear. Bart Edmondson Jr., or Edmondson, did not kill or in any way contribute to the tragic death of Nolan Wells. He had no motive to do so. All he did was help a boat that was in distress. He was fully and freely cooperated with authorities, sharing every bit of information he knows, providing access to his boat, his GPS, and his phone, and sharing witness lists with investigators. He has done all of this without criminal counsel, though most criminal attorneys would advise against that, without hesitation and without requiring any warrant. That he has been publicly quiet is a byproduct. I'll be real, bruh. I'm not hearing none of that other stuff, by the way, right? Like all that Bart's innocent, but listen, man, all right, listen. Cooperating or talking too much is something, that criminals have been doing since the age of time. I'm not saying Bart's guilty. I have no proof Bart is guilty. All right, but I'm not ruling out Bart as a suspect. I'm not ruling out what I heard on that audio. Damn it, Bart. I'm not ruling that out now. Now, what I will tell you is it Katie? I don't think it's Katie. Right? Yo. Oh, damn. I bet. Cool. Right? So yeah. So again, I'm not ruling out Bart as a suspect. Bro, your name is on that audio and you got to deal with that. You got to deal with your name being on that audio. We cannot explain that. Now, until we get the day we get the criminal, the actual suspect, the person who murdered Nolan, that's the day we would exonerate you guys. Until then, we cannot exonerate you guys. I'm sorry. We just can't. I'm sorry. We would not exonerate you guys until we get the person who murdered Nolan, or until y'all start talking. But I can say that's not Katie. Now, y'all want me to ask AI. Cool. Let's ask AI. Okay, let's ask Gemini. Let me find, 1 second, man. Let's find the pictures real quick. Let's ask AI. Let's do it. Let's ask AI. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Okay, let's ask AI. 1 second. Let's go. Okay, perfect. Let's save this picture of Katie. And then we'll also ask AI right now. My thing with AI, man, is this. Cool. Let's ask AI. Let's go real quick. Now, this is the moment of truth, okay? This is the moment of truth. This is the moment of truth, people. Are y'all excited, man? What y'all think, man? Hey, listen, yo. I want to poll in the chat real quick. Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll in the chat real quick, okay? Let's do a poll in the chat real quick on who thinks it's Katie. 1 second. Let's do a poll. Who thinks it's Katie? I'm about to do a poll as we pull up this AI tool. Who thinks it's Katie? Because I'll be real, I don't think it's Katie. Let's see, man. Is that Katie in the picture with Bart? I want y'all to vote as we pull up the AI tool. Is that Katie? Y'all vote on the poll, right? Like y'all vote and like on the poll. Let's see real quick. Is that Katie? Yo, 59% says no. Okay, cool. Let's pull up the Gemini real quick and let's do what we came here to do, okay? Let's upload the files. Let's upload both files. Cool. Let's use Gemini right now. Cool, okay. Let's go, okay, cool. So this is Gemini right here, okay? This is it. The 2 pictures is uploaded, people, right? Now, I'm gonna let you guys tell me what should I put as the prompt so everybody is satisfied with the results. So it's all fair. Because when I did the Charlamagne the God and academics prompt, y'all said I was unfair. What should the prompt be? Based on your expertise, is this the same girl in both pictures? The picture on the left is 4 years. It's 4 years old, right? It's 4 years old. Now, also, too, we could also do an AI test of the picture of Katie from 4 years ago. We'll do that, too. The picture of Katie from 4 years ago, we'll also do that, too. Let's run it. Let's run the software. Let's run it. Come on. Is that the same person? Accessing the images. Come on, AI is doing its job right now. Come on. In fact, hey, let's make it smaller. Let's make it smaller. Come on, let's make it smaller. Okay, come on. Let's make it smaller. So AI apparently. Let's make it smaller. Let's make it smaller. Let's make it smaller. Okay, cool. So, okay, let's go. What are the AI results? Based on a visual comparison of the 2 images, it is highly unlikely that they are the same person. Even accounting for a 4-year gap, there are significant differences in their core facial structures. Here is a breakdown of the differences between the girls, okay? The facial shape. The girl in the older photo has a slightly narrower face with more defined angular jawline. The girl in the beach has a distinctly rounder face shape. Nose. This is one of the most prominent differences. The girl on the left has a wider nose bridge, whereas the girl on the right has a narrower bridge with a different tip structure. Smiling teeth, the shape of their smiles and how their cheeks rest when smiling appears structurally different. Okay? The girl on the right has a large, prominent floral tattoo covering her right shoulder and upper arm, as well as a visible tattoo on her left rib cage. While it is entirely possible to get these tattoos on a 4-year period, the bare right arm in the older photo serve as a distinct point of contrast. The hair. The girl on the left has brown hair, while the girl on the right is blonde. While hair can easily be dyed and styled differently over 4 years, it adds to the overall lack of similarity. All right? While people certainly change as they age, the underlying bone structure of the face, like the nose and jawline. But here's the thing. Again, somebody says she got slightly. No, bro. Again, if you look at the old pictures, she was actually bigger in 2022. She was actually bigger in 2022. Okay. Now let's go to the polling real quick. The polling goes 55% says no, 45% says yes. Okay. Okay. Hey, folks, listen, man, folks. Hey, until we get more info, we have to end the poll and go with that's not Katie, but that does not exonerate Bart. Bart is still a suspect according to us because Bart's name was said on the audio, but that does not mean, that Bart's motive was Katie, right? Or Bart's motive could still be Katie, but we don't know if that's Katie in that picture, okay? Now, let's get to this other stuff I wanted to touch on. The other stuff I wanted to touch on, okay, was Willie D saying, right here, that apparently, all right, that apparently, here, let me find it for you guys. 1 second. Let me find it for you guys. Willie D was saying that the tip hotline number actually goes to Ashley Cole, which is Warren's BM. Let's go real quick. Where's the Willie D's video real quick? Wait, why can't I find Willie D? Okay, yeah, right here. Right, so this is it right here. This is everything. Now, this will be, if you're watching the clip channel, this will be in another video, okay? This will be in another video. So click on that video. Well, what the hell? Perfect. So let's go. Okay, so perfect. So let's pull up the Willie D clip real quick. Okay. So Willie D apparently found that the tip hotline to bring in Nolan Wells' information was actually Ashley Cole's number, which is the judge, and also to the mother of Warren. People are really upset because they feel like, why would the tip hotline go to the mother of one of the suspects? Because, the mother has an invested interest to obviously make sure that her son doesn't go to jail. So if a tip, let's just say like a good tip comes in, right? A good tip comes in. If a good tip comes in, the mom would probably want to investigate that tip because she don't want her son to go to jail, right? Especially if a tip that could implicate the son. So here is Willie D breaking down how this is possible.
Fam, it can't be. Let's dig a little further here, fam, because there's got to be a reasonable explanation for this, right? It has to be. I just dialed the number, and this is the same number that is listed. Okay, just to show you proof. This is Judge Ashley Cole, P.O. Box 998. Pascagoula 39568. And the phone number I just dialed was 228-769-3036. That is Judge Ashley Cole's phone number. So how is that the tip line? I mean, something has got to be off. Let me dig a little further here.
If this is true, this is one of the biggest fumbles and miscarriages of justice I've ever seen. And here's why. Can you imagine how many tips we haven't heard yet? Can you imagine how many tips we have not heard yet, if that's true? If tips was coming into that tip hotline, now how the tips work, they call in, they leave a voice note, right? Or they call in and they speak to somebody. How easy would it be to just delete, sorry, voice note gone? Imagine somebody calling in and leaving a tip. Hey, look, I seen Warren getting into a fight, but the fight was actually with Nolan. Imagine if that was one of the tips. What do you guys think the odds are? What do you guys think the odds are and the chances are that Warren's mama will hear a tip like that and say, you know what? Yeah, let me give this tip to Benjamin Crump. Let me give this tip to Benjamin Crump. Let me give this tip to the police. And the tip is of my son. Clearly, obviously, in my opinion, she wouldn't do that. Because I don't think no mama would do that. No mama would do that. So to give her access to a tip line where potential tips could be coming in, it's just, who idea was this? I want to know who idea was this? Was this the police idea? Was this the police idea? Was this the idea? Was this the police idea? Was this the idea of Benjamin Crump? And no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think this was, again, from like my perspective, bruh, I don't think this was the idea of Nolan Wall parents. I just don't. I don't think Nolan Wall parents was notified and put in the know that the person who's going to be receiving tips would be the parents of one of the kids that could be involved, one of the suspects. What? That's absurd. That's literally absurd. Who would agree to this? How is this possible?
Ashley Cole's phone number. So how is that the tip line? I mean, something has got to be off. Let me dig a little further here. So what is that, fam? That looks like the same number as the sheriff's department. Is there some type of mix-up? Maybe there's a mix-up. It's got to be a mix-up, fam, because ain't no way these people are that bold. It's the same number as the Jackson County Sheriff's Department, 769-3036. 228-769-3036 is the same number as Ashley Cole's. Well, maybe there's some type of mix-up, fam, because I dialed 228-769-3036 and got the sheriff's number.
Now, he does go through the entire thing. Just know he does call, and they do confirm that it's the number. This is why Benjamin Crump did not have any faith in this quote-unquote independent investigation. Sorry, no. Any faith in the original investigation, he had to call for an independent investigation. This is why he didn't have any faith. Because listen, the independent investigation is being done by Benjamin Crump and his team, and they brought in a team of private investigators. If the original investigation, because they called Benjamin Crump calling for an independent investigation, Benjamin Crump expressing his suspicion and distrust for Ocean Springs sheriffs, they call that race hustling. They call that grifting. They call that somebody who was trying to manipulate the public. After this information, I don't care what gets brought up by the quote-unquote original investigation, which is the sheriffs. The sheriffs who told Nolan Wall's parents they can't provide them information because it's an active and ongoing investigation. The sheriffs told TMZ, we got evidence that 2 people seen Nolan Wells on an island after 4:30. Why are you guys quote-unquote leaking information to TMZ that y'all won't tell the parents? That makes sense to y'all? Clearly not. After this development, bro, I don't trust the goddamn thing that comes from Ocean Springs. If it doesn't come from the independent investigation, I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not trusting nothing that doesn't come from the independent investigation. I'm straight. I'm good, bro. This is a tragedy. Who will co-sign this idea? Who is going to Ashley Cole's office? This is just, this is disgusting and embarrassing. This is some nasty work, bro. This is some nasty work, man. This is some nasty work, bro. Somebody says facts. Man, oh my God, man. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Man. This is crazy, man. My God. Here, bro. Yo, we've been dissecting, bro. We're like what? We're like 2 hours in? Or 2 hours ahead? Yo, have y'all been tapped in with the boy, bro? I'm cooking up a Christian Rock video today. But let's get to this though. Another murder that was very sketchy. Okay. Candace Owens. Okay, we got to review Candace Owens footage, right, of the Charlie Kirk situation. Okay, so let's go. So, let's go, man. So that's our Nolan update of the day. All right. We'll be doing another update probably to like tonight or tomorrow. But let's get to it though. All right. So Candace Owens is claiming that she has information, video, and evidence that's going to exonerate Tyler Robinson, who is currently on trial for Charlie Kirk's murder. Now, Candace says that she has access to footage that the FBI and the police refuse to reveal or expose or post, but she has obtained the footage. Now, she claims this footage of the actual shooter is apparently going to exonerate Tyler Robinson. So let's get into this, man, by Candace Owens.
All right, you guys, happy Tuesday. I am sorry that we are running late, but I promise you it is going to be worth the wait. First and foremost, I always just have to shout out Andrew Colvett because he has got me out here looking like the old woman from the movie The Princess Bride. You guys remember her? Liar! 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 Andrew Colvett, why must we do these things? Why do you tell these massive lies? Because I was also able to confirm with a White House employee that there certainly was a White House meeting on the books for Andrew Colvett, the chief marketing officer, Marina Minez. Also, I have learned, and this is quite unusual because he does not often travel, Chief Operating Officer Justin Strife was scheduled to be there, and their in-house legal counsel, Frank. Ladies and gentlemen, why does Andrew lie so easily? Why was it necessary to lie in the first place? This meeting scheduled allegedly for the same day/week. Maybe I got the wrong day. That Bibi Netanyahu.
Yo, bruh. Somebody just says, yo, Flacco trying to study how to lie as well as Kit. Man, stop it, bro. All right, here. Let's get past this. Perfect. Okay, so this is the footage right here. Let's get to this. Let's get to the start of this right here. All right, perfect. So this is the start of it. Okay, so again, let's run it back for folks. For folks who just came, let's run it back. Okay. Candace Owens is claiming that she has video that's going to exonerate Tyler Robinson, who is currently on trial for Charlie Kirk's murder. Now, Candace Owens have been probably like one of the biggest advocates against, right, Tyler Robinson being like prosecuted, right? Like Candace have claimed that the FBI and, you know, the government is trying to cover up Charlie Kirk's murder because essentially government officials had a hand in murdering Charlie Kirk, and then they're trying to cover this up just like they covered up JFK's murder, right? Now, me personally, I have not done like too much of a deep dive into this to where I have to have the information that Candace has. But let's see what Candace Owens is saying. I'll be real with y'all, bruh. If somebody was on trial for my friend's murder and I truly believe that person was innocent, I'll probably do the same thing Candace is currently doing. But Candace is polarizing. There's people who claim that Candace Owens is a pathological liar. I feel like Ben Shapiro and Andrew Kovac, probably like Andrew Wilson, probably, damn near everybody on Twitter have rallied around to call Candace Owens a liar and have like gone out of their way to try to like discredit her. However, but here's the thing though, it's like a civil war. There's Candace Owens with the legions of fans behind her, and then there's like the industry. It's like the industry is saying, yo, y'all are dumb to believe Candace Owens. She's a liar. She's a pathological liar. She's crazy. Why you have Candace Owens with this legions of like millions of like followers who believe in everything she says? And it's this civil war that's like currently going on. Okay, so let's play this.
You know, I have a few questions that just sort of linger in the back of my mind. One this morning that I came up with, I was going, for 33 hours, 33 to be exact, 33. There was this manhunt for Charlie Kirk's alleged killers. And the feds during this manhunt chose to release an extremely blurry still image of a man in a stairwell. It was very blurry. Why? Why didn't they release the much clearer footage that we eventually saw in court? They had access to that. They didn't say that they needed to do anything to bring that footage up. Why release something grainy if you can release something clearer? Why reduce the quality? Again, that seems to be a theme, that they're just intentionally degrading the quality of footage. And the question is why? Who does that ultimately help? And another question that's on my mind this morning is, why was Zachariah Qureshi initially arrested by local police and feds? And then he was released. That seems like quite a big mistake for them to have made. What did they see? What was captured on camera or otherwise? What evidence did they have? Maybe it was a scent, the dog was chasing, I don't know.
But wasn't there multiple people? Now, to Kenna's credit, the FBI fumbled this investigation so hard and so bad. Like, they fumbled this so hard. These things work. Now, that's assuming this is, like a government hit, right? Assuming this is, like they're doing this to frame somebody because they don't want us to know who really did it. You would usually have a fall guy. You would usually have somebody who was claiming it. I did it, right? Just like they claim, like the guy killed, I think, JFK. Like, come to find out, there was like multiple snipers, right? There was like multiple snipers, right? There was multiple shots that happened, right? Or even if you look at the JFK video, the angle in which the quote unquote like shooter was positioned, it couldn't have came from there because JFK got hit from like somewhere, right? Like it was just, And we know by now that the shooters for JFK and MLK did not work alone. However, nobody else has been arrested, right? So Candace, to me, is not crazy to have questions. But the problem is, and I watched the Andrew Wilson debate, because he debated like one of Candace's homies, right? And they debated, I think, like last night or a day ago. This debate, now this person believes the same thing. Wait, pause. Are we muted? Wait, there's no sound. My sound went off. 1 second, man. My sound went off. What the hell? Get rid of them. Okay? Okay, perfect. Right? So, yeah, last night. So Candace had a homie. Who had the same talking points as Candace, who did, like, I guess multiple shows like with Candace. And that person, like, debated Andrew Wilson. And Andrew Wilson, bro, he destroyed him. Like, he cooked him. Like, he like, completely, like, I'm talking about, like destroyed him. Demolished him. Right? So we seen from there, right, like from that debate, the talking points, at least with somebody who don't have a great of an understanding as Candace Owens, those talking points don't really like survive the interrogation. Now, Candace Owens is, a much better debater. Like, I knew Candace Owens was cold when Candace Owens went to Destiny's home and had a live debate with Destiny, and Candace Owens cooked Destiny. She destroyed him and she cooked him. Even though I probably agree with more of Destiny's stances, right? Like, she cooked him. So Candace Owens would have probably cooked and destroyed Andrew Wilson. But the theories and the statements did not, right? Like, it did not, like, survive under interrogation from somebody else. Now, albeit it wasn't Candace Owens, it was somebody else, but that person is a friend of Candace Owens and have the same theories of Candace, right, like, as Candace Owens. So this is Candace Owens breaking down why we've been lied to, we are wrong, and Tyler Robson did not kill Charlie Kirk, okay? Let's go.
Decided to go to Zachariah Qureshi's apartment in Provo, whereupon he was then brought in and interrogated by the feds and then released. Are we common sense people supposed to believe that was just bad luck? There was only 2 people that were detained. The first was George Zinn. We know why. Obviously, he said, I did it. It's a good reason to detain someone. I did it. Okay, we're going to detain you. The second was Zachariah Qureshi, and they just let it go. They let the error go. We got no explanation. I think we deserve one. And of all the people, they happened to select this kid who has got a father who's a career military man who owns and operates a military app tied to operations, tied to Fort Huachuca, got a bunch of money from the DOD. I'd just like to know more about that. How was that mistake made? That'd be great if we could follow up on it. Anyway, speaking of military men, last week we played for you an exclusive audio from the only person who managed to capture footage of the alleged gunman on Losi Center rooftop before the sound of the shot goes off, right? He recorded the individual on his iPhone. He then reported what he saw to police dutifully. And he was very clear. He said that the person looked to him like it was a professional. Remember that? He said a person with some sort of military tactical training seemed to be dressed in tactical wear. Particularly, he referenced this military crawl that stood out to him as something that requires military training. Okay. And he would know. He would know. Strangely, they didn't contact him. They weren't curious for him to testify. The prosecution wasn't interested. The defense, I guess at this stage, was preliminary hearing, was not interested. And also, we never saw any of that sort of footage in court. You're saying he did some military crawl. How's that possible? How's it possible that we didn't see that? Oh, I know how it's possible, because we're dealing with the feds. No worries. We can't rely.
Yo, I did watch those videos too that Candace is talking about. There's a bunch of military guys, right? Because again, I think the biggest mistake though that the FBI made, again, like, albeit like transparency is cool, they were too transparent, especially with the information that was not like accurate or or make sense, right? Like when Charlie Kirk passed away, people were like, yo, where's the exit hole at? Why didn't we see no exit wound in Charlie Kirk's neck? They came out and said, yo, Charlie Kirk got a neck of steel. No, again, I'm not capping. This was a literal statement that was put out. This was a literal statement that was put out. I'm not lying to y'all when I say this. This was an actual statement that was put out. They said Charlie Kirk got the neck of steel. And because of the neck of steel, Charlie Kirk's neck intercepted the bullet and stopped it. Now, military experts went out in the field, shot like, bro, they shot like TVs, they shot bricks, they shot like water, they shot like things that are objects that are like sturdier than somebody's neck. And that thing flew straight through, bro. That thing absolutely, I'm talking about destroyed those items. So clearly, it felt like the government and the police was putting out information that didn't make sense. And to be honest, as I think about it, I think it was like, wait, Paul, wasn't it like, I think it was Andrew Kovac, right? Like who put out that statement that the police told him or the doctors told him that Charlie Kirk had a neck of steel that could stop a 30-06? Right? Look, it was an exploding mic. No facts, right? No facts. So if that's the case, then clearly you have to understand why people are suspicious. Multiple people was detained and arrested. The old guy got booked. Some new guy got booked. Cool. We seen the video of Tyler Robinson. If Tyler Robinson is 5'5", they said what, he's 5'10", right? He's 5'10", right? They said he's 5'10". The person in the video, like where their head stop doesn't match 5'10", right? So the video don't really like match him, right? They claim like the rifle was under his pants and he was like walking with a stiff leg. There's photos of his leg actually bending as he walked. So it feels like they just rushed to put out a lot of information. Some of the information was just bad info, just bad, which is why Candace Owens, to me, have a lot of listeners right now because people don't trust this government at all. They just don't trust them, like at all.
And of course, if they did capture him doing that, that wouldn't exactly help their narrative, right? Tyler's supposed to be some scrub kid who woke up one day, actually kind of a academic genius, and just had to take the shot for his lover, even though they never discussed politics and they never discussed Charlie Kirk in particular, and they never discussed LGBTQ issues. This morning, he woke up and he was just like, yeah, I need a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and then I'm going to go do the impossible. But I also told you this early on. I said there are good people in government. There are good people who work all across the local police precincts in Utah, good people in our federal investigation and in our federal bureaus who participated in this investigation initially, who answered the call, who responded on September 10th. There is, in fact, an underground movement for Charlie that has been built over these last 10 months, and it is how we have been able to release so much information, to get so much exclusive information, exclusive footage, exclusive photos to help us string together what actually did take place on that day. And there was something in particular that I will tell you that I've been holding on to since October, in part because I needed to protect my government sources. Obviously, they're in government. It is risky for them to be communicating with me at all. But more importantly, because I needed to see who the liars are, who lied about everything.
Talk to us.
I have to wait. I have to see. I didn't know who to trust. I was also grieving. And I was told that at the preliminary hearing, they would be forthcoming about anything and everything that they had. I was told that actually by Erica. And I just kept thinking to myself, a military call on a rooftop would be very relevant, right? I told you that's back even when I first had that conversation with my source. He said, yeah, that's what I saw. I thought, well, they obviously can't keep that from the public. They can't just keep gaslighting the public about that.
Yeah, bro, because, if this was like if this was a kid who was just like this, like this dweeb and this nerd, right? Then why would he be like, I don't know, bro. Again, people have like special skills and talents that you don't know about. So you can't really underestimate anybody. Trust me, I learned that you can't underestimate anybody. But this kid from Utah, who is like borderline socially awkward, right? Socially autistic, no military training whatsoever, was able to military crawl like on the roof, get into position almost right away, and then take the shot. I don't know. To me personally, that just don't seem feasible for a person like Tyler Robinson. Now, I'm not saying he didn't do it. I just don't think that seems feasible.
That information. Well, we have certainly something to show you. Now, before we get into the video, let me just show you where it starts out. Let's just consider where we're at in the narrative. We are told that someone who was wearing skinny jeans, right, decided to essentially crip walk on the gun onto the Losey rooftop. Okay, sounds made up given the jeans that he was wearing, but let's just take that at Fed value. Okay, here are the jeans he's wearing. Tyler's 5'10". The gun is minimum 3'6", fully assembled. We can see his phone in his right pocket. It doesn't pass the sniff test, right? That should come up past Tyler's 5'10" belly, in theory. It's not what I'm seeing, but I digress. Let's just jump back into the narrative as it's been spun to us, because then we know he gets onto the rooftop. And I just am wondering now, how does the gun get out of his skinny jeans at that point? Anybody? Okay. Right? Skinny jeans are designed so that the bottom of the jeans are tight, skinnier by the ankle. Did he wiggle it out of the bottom? Or did he pull down his pants real quick on the rooftop and get it out this way? We don't know. But what we do know is that once he hits that rooftop, he is suddenly able to sprint. And this limp that he has in the footage is completely removed. So let's watch that.
Yo, I'll be real. Here, let's run real quick. Yo, this person looks awfully athletic. I'll be real. Again, maybe this person looks awfully athletic. This don't strike me as Tyler Robinson.
Okay. Now, what happens next is exactly as my source stipulated. Our rooftop guy begins a tactical crawl. It's actually known in the military as a lateral crawl. Let's watch that.
Yo, Big G said that's an autistic run. Man, stop that. Bro. Hold on, cuz.
There he goes. And I actually do want to show you side by side so you can actually see a real military man do that alongside this person on the rooftop. Let's bring in that side by side clip. Here we go. That general action right there is known as a lateral crawl. Now, you may have noted if
this is big. Yo, to me, this is probably bigger than the receipt from the restaurant. So Candace Owens claimed that she had a receipt from the restaurant. I think like the time is like varying, but Tyler Robinson apparently went out to eat at a specific time. Now, based on his receipt and when he had dinner and when he paid using his debit card, it would have been impossible for him to leave there and get to the college and then do all of that in time, right? Because the time the person was doing what they were doing, according to Candace, Tyler has receipts of him being at this restaurant. Now, people have debunked like the receipts. Now, the waiter have said, yo, I seen him here. He was eating at this time. The owner of the restaurant says that's cap. He was not here. Candace says she spoke to somebody who's seen him there, and she has the receipts. So everything about this case just don't smell right. And here's the rule of thumb, right? Most things are pretty like straightforward. Most crimes is pretty straightforward, right? Trust me, I've been around criminals my entire life. Most crimes is pretty straightforward, bruh. Right? There's really not too much guessing going into it once the police do their work and get the facts and the evidence. When you get the facts and the evidence, when you get a year or two of full investigation and the police and the FBI, the government, who probably got more resources than anybody else, if the government says, yo, here is our evidence, here is our proof, after a year and a half of investigating, and then you get it, and a YouTuber is able to poke holes in this story, I think that's a problem. If a YouTuber is able to locate and find information that makes whatever you're providing to millions of people look like a lie, that's a problem.
Your eyes, some sort of a flash that just took place, right? We're going to show you that slow down and just kind of discuss this. We've gone back and forth here. What is that? Is he pulling something out? Is it like a signal mirror? Is it a flag? Was it already on Losey Center? Is it actually something that's in the background that's just catching weird? Is it a car? And we're just thinking that we see this flash, but we're just going to show you that so that it's clear. Back and forth flash there while he's military crawling. Here we go. There, and we're running that back and forth there. Okay, so you now have that. Next up, what you are going to see is that it's going to look as though, as he gets into position and completes this lateral crawl, that he thrusts something forward in a way that my brain told me it looked like he was unfolding a gun.
Okay.
Truly, that's what my brain told me. Maybe it's because I had this guy and told me about a fold AR. I don't know, but it's not definitive. That's me narrating. I'm happy for people to disagree and debate what is seen, but let's just watch that portion here. There we go. Something forward, and we can watch that again. Something forward again. But more importantly than what we see here is what we're not going to see here. So remember, this is supposed to be a German 98 Mauser family heirloom gun used during World War I and World War II. That'll effectively take your shoulder out when it's fired. Right? Even the newer models, if you go watch people shooting, they're like, oh, my shoulder. And if you're looking through a scope, as he allegedly was, you might even expect a black eye. You will recall that the guy who recorded the footage specifically told us that he saw no recoil. That's pretty crucial. He just saw the guy get up and run. And that would be, I would argue, or a lawyer in court, that would be impossible for this specific make and model of gun. So let's watch and see if we, with our eyes, can observe some sort of a kickback. And again, I have to apologize. This is not like Benny Johnson 4K footage, but it's at least clear enough here on your screen that you would be able to discern a strong kickback on a gun from somebody who's just laying down taking a shot. So I'm going to let this run. It's about 50 seconds. And you just let me know if at any point you see that before he gets up and breaks into a sprint. Take a look. There you go. That's that unfolding again.
Bro, this look like an expert, bro. This looks like somebody who has done this before, right? Just their mannerism, bro. Like how quickly they got up, how quickly they ran into position, got into like the military crawl, got into position fast as hell. I just don't think that this, like this kid who was just in college, who never been to the military, I just don't think that they are able to pull this off and orchestrate this, bruh. And especially the shot they took. It's just, oh my God.
And by the way, if you are listening to this in audio, this is one of these episodes that you actually do have to go watch. So you will have to pivot over to YouTube, to Spotify, somewhere that provides the video, because this is not something that we could just produce on an audio podcast here, unfortunately.
Come on. Come on, bro. Trained marksman, that's a fact.
I did have to obviously
look at this.
Push out those fed timestamps, but see here, I have 10 more seconds here.
Oh my God.
Okay, he is up.
Now he's gone. There was no recoil.
Anybody?
She's right. She's right. And the reason why that's important as well, because obviously, like she just explained, that gun, the gun he has, by the way, right? Because you actually see like military people actually like did like an actual exhibit in actually firing this gun, right? Or even like the unfolding and folding back up of the gun. It takes dramatically longer than we saw. Like we saw him unfold the gun, but bop, or so they claim, right? And they was able to put it back like within like 3 seconds. People who did their demonstration shows, one, to unload and load his gun or to unfold it and bro, like it takes you at least like 2 minutes or so. Tyler Robinson did it within like 5 seconds. Within like 5 seconds. And trained people took them like 2 minutes. So folks saying, bro, like it's almost impossible to do this within like 5 seconds. 2, we never seen a recoil. This gun is dramatic, right? Like based on demonstrations, it's dramatic. When you fire, it's gonna recoil. We see no recoil. We ain't see him jerk back, like fire back. And this is not no like super diesel 350-pound like military man with like cock. No, this is a weakling. To fire this, you will be pushed back. We ain't see none of that. We damn near ain't even see like a movement. We ain't even see fire, to be honest. Like, I ain't see no firing. The fact that a YouTuber is dismantling the entire, is dismantling the prosecution's entire case tells you a lot about the case, bruh. It's not ironclad.
Anybody see a recoil?
I didn't.
I didn't see one, but let's actually put that footage all together uninterrupted. Here we go for you guys to watch.
Come on, bruh. Come on,
He
bro.
comes running on to the rooftop.
My God.
Lateral military crawl. He begins that crawl.
Oh my God.
Over to the right first, and then to the left, we see a quick flash. I'm not going to read into it. There's that throw forward. I say fold forward. You can say throw forward, but that's definitely something being flung forward.
And there's no kickback.
This must have been when our source began recording from the side of a Losi building.
There's no kickback. Now watch. He's supposed to be firing right now, right?
And he's up.
And
he's gone.
And he got the gun already like packed up.
What do you guys think?
Y'all think that's Tyler Robinson? Y'all think? Hey man, I don't believe it, bruh. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think, okay? Chat, what y'all think, bruh? Chat, what y'all think, bruh? Is that Tyler? Hell nah, bruh. But here, listen, man. Let's get the super chats. Let's get to the super chats. Let's get to the fan funded. Man, shout out to Empress Fallon, Israel Risings, Richard's World, man, and everybody, man, who sent me a gift. I appreciate y'all, man. Okay, man, bro, I appreciate y'all so much, man. Wow, yo, there's a bunch. Man, listen, okay. Man, let's go through it, man. Okay, so Cash and Cowboy says tip line with 100. Wait, in fact, let's draw this over here. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay. So Cash and Cowboy says, give me my credit, Flacco. Officer BLT. Well, I read this already, man. But hey, again, Cash and Cowboy is who came up with BLT, which stands for Bootlicking Tatum, or Bootlicking Tatum. All right. So Cash and Cowboys also said tip line with 125,000 reward goes to Warren's mom office. Facts. Like we covered that, man. Cash and Cowboy says his karma gonna be an Alex Jones type lawsuit. That's a fact. Bruh, Tatum has gotten too disgusting in his coverage of this Nolan Wells situation, man. Rich by design, $50, man. Shout out to Wacko Flacco, man. I appreciate you, bruh. Man, love my guy. Yo, fan, listen, yo, Rich by Design is one of the few content creators I like, bruh. Dude is dope. He does dope work. He's on code. You feel me? Like, he don't do no hater stuff, bruh. Like, I'll be real, yo, like, bruh, this era and like in my life, man, I'm on some full. Like, I got a purpose and a mission, which is why, bro, like, y'all don't see me respond back to a lot of shit. Because, bro, I'm on a purpose and a mission, bro. You feel me? Like, you feel me, bro? Like, if y'all see nonsense about me and, like, online, that's to the birds for me, bro. Like, I got a purpose that I'm on right now, bro. You feel me? Like, I'm not, you feel me? Right? But, right? But the good part, though, like, I'll say this, though. Like, my audience, like, I'll be real, y'all are, like, so different from, like, what my audience, I guess, like, used to be. Right? No, man, like, not different. It's the same audience I, like, used to have, or I still currently have. It's the same audience, but we just got, we've got so much bigger that, like, I'm just so, like, preoccupied with giving, like, y'all content, and y'all really don't even, like care about all that other stuff, like, at all. Like, so because y'all don't even care about it, like, when I'm, like, in this world, I don't even hear or see, like, what goes on, like, outside of this world. So it's like, you feel me? Like, it's hard for me to even, like make videos or, like, respond back to, like, whatever, because kind of, like, you feel me? Like, I just don't be saying it, you feel me? Right? I just don't, man, right? No, I think Adam, like, he texted me this morning, and Adam was like, yo, Flacco, are you demonetized? Because he sent me some Instagram post of somebody called, oh my God, I forgot the clip page. There was, like, a clip page, like, who posted it. And I was like, what? Like, I'm demonetized? What? No, what the hell? What the But apparently, bro, like, those are narratives that are happening, but because, like, my audience is, like, so different, and, like, we're, like, I feel me, like, we're, like, so, like, we're just in our own world and over here that I don't even be hearing, like, the rhetoric outside until somebody, like, tells me. You feel me? So yeah, bro, like, I'm so glad for y'all, man. Let's go. Somebody says, let's go. Maybe Mall Cop is trying to get the reward money. Does Lady A for real said it? Cash and Cowboy says, these witnesses came from Judge Cole's tip line. Yo, that's what I also said. Officer Tatum can't be trusted, or the eyewitness can't really be trusted, because if the eyewitness is being selectively brought out, then we can't believe anything they says, okay? So Sochu Wook says, Tatum trying to spin the story for the phone call being leaked. Nolan on drive BS. He already screwed. Wait, okay. Tatum trying to spin the story for the phone call being leaked. That's a fact. The phone call had them worried. Nolan on drive BS. He already screwed those boys over 1,000 just for interviewing them. Now, watch him try to justify Nolan was there on a boat, but he was on drugs and they left him. That's a fact. Tatum is a clown. He has to be getting paid by the family. That's why he ran down to Mississippi. The obvious editing in his interviews is nasty word. That's a fact. Flawed, the boy says, why don't we hear the partying music and drunk people in the car? Tatum is the worst kind of human being, attacking a grieving family and their lost son. There's a special place in hell for people like Tatum, that man, as a fact. Most African Americans get offended when offered coke. That's a fact, right? Most people don't go to like a party and say, "Oh my God, yo, bro, like, where the coke at?" That in our steez, bro. From some marijuana, maybe coke. Come on, bro. So Suchu, man, Sochul says exactly who in the world is best friends with a cokehead and they're not. Tatum is helping them come up with scenarios, bro. When they say, yo, Nolan was the only person like doing coke and they weren't, man, I said, all right, but come on, bro. Don't let them distract us from talking about Nolan's missing throat. The evidence with the toxology was sent, bro, facts. Yo, Tatum never talked about that too. Yo, have y'all noticed, right? Have y'all noticed how Tatum has never talked about that? How Tatum has never discussed that? Like Tatum has never addressed like how the throat got sent to the independent autopsy. No, sorry. How the throat never got sent to the independent autopsy. They go, big cap, that's a fact. Sochu. Karaj Strong says, whoever threw the punch is cooked. Drug-fueled rage, second degree. He or she will beg manslaughter, allegedly. Wells want murder. Listen, man, I want first-degree murder, bro, for anybody, bro. Especially because, like, yo, bro, like, they made us do all this work investigating it. Nah, bro, we want first-degree murder, bro. Right? Because in that case, yo, if you're going out the way to conceal you did it, then you knew what you were doing. Marco Rodriguez says, keep the convo going, but I can't stand Tatum. He tried to say Cyan Massey deserved to die because she was a threat. I was incensed with him. Now he wants to open his KKK mouth on a case like this. Shaking my head. Bro, that's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, that's a fact. Okay? Crispy Crunch says, they need to bring Bart home. He's hiding out at school. I bet if we saw Katie's phone right now, he blaming her for what he did to Nolan because he was jealous. She gave Nolan time and don't want Bart. Text her nonstop about it. Now, I'll be real. I'm not saying the possibility of Bart and Katie being involved is not there. I'm saying the picture they're providing and saying is Katie is not Katie, right? I'm still willing to entertain this theory for sure. I'm just saying the picture itself is not Katie. So Mr. Chiz89 says, all because Nolan took Katie from Bart. Arisham the world, your name is cut off, my brother. Address that video, Flacco. All right. Somebody says, address that video, Flacco, of you saying black folks shouldn't get reparations and doing podcasts with Nick Fuentes spewing all those conservatives talking points, very disingenuous. Bro, listen, bro. What? This was what? When did I identify as conservative? I identified as conservative probably like what? In like my early 20s, right? Like 22, 23 years old, right? Bro, listen, bro. Folks change. Listen, I'm not a Democrat right now either. Like I'm probably like middle of the road, right? Like you feel me? Like middle of the road. I think like a wake up call for a lot of us, bro, was probably like Trump's second term. Like Trump's second term to me was like a wake up call for a lot of people, right? Like a lot of us, bro, like we peep one, bro, like we're being lied to. You feel me? Like you feel me? Like we're being lied to, right? And a bunch of the people, you feel me? Like the, I guess, quote unquote, like conservative people that, you feel me? That, you know, that like we kind of like look up to or look at, yo, they began to show they fucking ass, right? And that's when like I kind of just came to like my conclusion of, hey, listen, bruh, like there ain't no middle ground with these people, right? Like there ain't no, yeah, but nah, yo, these people, they hate us, right? And I feel like the turning point for even like a bunch of like quote unquote like black conservatives was when white nationalism began to permeate, right? You feel me? Like when MAGA came back, MAGA kind of like brought like white nationalism like back into like the mainstream because like white nationalism like became like within the cabinet of MAGA, right? Like dudes like Stephen Miller, Trump, Vance, right? So once you put like white nationalism like back in the White Office, bro, you kind of like isolate like a bunch of like the black conservatives, right? So for me, it's like, I somewhat identified as conservative like back in like 2022 or 2023. Now I identify as a moderate because, bro, like I just can't get down with like white nationalism, bro. You feel me? Like white nationalism to me is like the biggest threat to me as a black man. You feel me? And like if you're Trump and you get into office and you put nothing but white nationalists and and like inside your cabinet, bro, you feel me? Like I can't rock with you like at all, right? So you feel me? Yeah, bro. Phil, listen, bro. Like, and there was some point, you feel me? Like at some point, I thought conservatism was the way. Now I don't think that way, right? And there's clips of me, like on a jumper telling Lush, you feel me? Yo, like Trump is not the way, like at all. So, let's go. Kwame Brown says, facts, salute, bro. Facts, salute. Let's go. Lil Woodell says, with the nose Warren got, is no way he letting nose candy get in past without him hitting. Listen, bruh. Listen, man. Listen, bruh. Listen, man, okay? Chill. Okay, chill. Okay. Eastside's Kendall says, need to question the ex of Katie. If she sent a text to him about Nolan leaving, I believe he got, this is when, I got you. So this is when people, I guess this is like before people heard, this is before people, okay, got you. So this is before we debunked the Katie and the picture thing. So Katie apparently is not Bart's ex, based on the picture. Okay. Somebody goes, okay, perfect. Somebody says the feds need to get involved and take all Tatum's interviews for evidence and charge him conspiring to helping those boys get up. Yo, listen, I think Tatum needs to get a call from the police. I think Tatum needs to get like investigated and detained. When you say, I knew this information since Nolan died, but I withheld it because one, he said, because I didn't want to like destroy his reputation or his name. Huh? But you're going to say it publicly? That doesn't make sense at all, right? Or he even saying like, yo, like, I won't say the names of who gave the coke or the person who was in the altercation with Nolan until I talk to law enforcement, but you had this information for a while now and haven't talked to law enforcement. So why? It's sickening, bruh. Okay, so everyone from the kids on the boat to the judge to Bart's dad were involved. The judge with the narrative and cleanup, the dad with the drugs, Tatum with the feds, because that mud is a whole plant. Bastorian says, you got to give Tatum some credit, though. At least he's admitting his stance has changed. He could have kept up with his original statement and thoughts. Okay. Hey, Bay, I rock with you. You my brother, bro. I can't give Tatum any credit, bro. Tatum has done too much tap dancing, bro. But I love you, my brother. Man, I'll be real. Shout out to Soul True Woo. Soul True Woo have donated the most out of it. God damn, bro. Soul True Woo says, yo, Tatum is such a liar for these people, but as a fact. So the Digital Mafia says, yo, Tatum was on camera with the sniffles. Tatum identified with that Cole story for a fact. The Truth Review says Tatum needs to be sued for everything he got. Bro, listen, man, I co-sign that for a fact. So True with another donation. What I am trying to understand is why Tatum thinks he's in charge of this case on all social media platforms. That's a fact. Right? Bro, I seen Tatum post something, Benjamin Crump won't sit with me. He's hiding something. Man, bro, Benjamin Crump don't got to sit with you, bro. You's a nobody, Tatum. You's a nobody. Crump won't sit with me. He's clearly hiding something. Bro, you a nobody, bro. Why would Crump sit with you? All right. So let's go. Crispy Crunchy says, B-ass Tatum put himself in the wrong situation. He should shut up. He doesn't have verifiable truth. I can't stand this piece of ish. We knew it was the boys before Judge Mathis said anything. That's a fact. Bruh, we made videos covering that. Listen, allegedly it was the boys, but people suspected the boys doing it before Judge Mathis said anything. He chose Judge Mathis even after himself admitting there's foul play because he wanted to still placate, bruh. All right. BS Lick says, I think it was an accident, no death, but these boys were high and drunk, and whoever brought the bad drugs, probably Bart, don't want this getting out, allegedly. And now the boy says, they are literally trying to blame Nolan, drunk/coke. Man, come on, bruh. Right? Like, won't you, like, die if you mix that, right? Like, I'm not sure, bruh. I love America Dude says, Bart says he's not breathing, then someone says, shut up. I didn't hear the not breathing part, but I did hear, like, damn it, Bart. Deluxe says, parents, let me see, who's this? Nah, we got to find out. Damn, yo, they don't show y'all names. Wait, let me see real quick. Folks, listen, they don't show y'all name, people. They don't show y'all names. They cut it off. But Deluxe says, parents keep it within their circle. They pay Tatum to speak on the boys. Nolan's friends are innocent in that they didn't do it and are hurting about covering it up. Bro, I'll be real with you, yo, bro, that theory is so on point. That theory is so on point, bro, because Tatum got caught out of nowhere, right? Because why Tatum specifically? Because they could have gone, TMZ would have paid for somebody to go over and talk to him. The fact that they chose Tatum out of everybody tells me they needed somebody black and they needed somebody who will co-sign everything they're saying because they're morally bankrupt. That's a fact, man. Digital Mafia says, Dr. Umar voice, you don't find that suspicious? Nah, that's a fact. Somebody says, Bart is pissed. Nolan made moves on Katie. Bart gets Nolan in a headlock in the water. Nolan starts dying. 911 call is made. They take Nolan's body on the boat, hide it, then bring it back to location after search. I'll be real. Because Nolan's body going through the high tides and the low tides made people think, how do you go through the high tides and the low tides for 2 days, but the body isn't found? Because Nolan died on the 4th. So the 4th and the 5th, his body went through the high tides and the low tides, but ain't washed up on shores because they did a thorough search on the 5th of the entire island at nighttime and during the day. So for it to come up on the 6th was very suspicious, okay? Now let's see, bro, let's get through these, okay? Sorry about that. I love that social media is solving this case together. That's a fact. Everybody, I'll be real. Even the black conservatives, I'm kind of proud of them because even they're coming together, okay? Deluxe Combo says, Nolan died in Minecraft for that snow bunny. Oh, man, listen, man. Allegedly, all right? Bro, they got the same nose. Bro, that's not the same person, bro. Eric Amo says, Flacco, it's the same girl. She just had a tan on before and eyeliner. That's why she looked different. Check her nose and ears. Yo, listen, though. 45% of the people watching agree with you. So it's not that clear cut, to be honest. Right now, I'm part of the 55% who says is like not her. But if more information comes through, my brother, I'll tap back in. Melton Ice says it's not her. But did y'all notice how Bart's last name is the same last name that was told to the Toe folks? But Warren said it was Wyatt's. Hold on. Was that the grandpa's last name? I think it was. Wait, hold on. Wyatt called for help. The granddad, which is Bart's granddad, says, we don't need help. Hey, we'll do a full deep dive on that in the next video, okay? Nirvana Tyler says, Bart's full name is on the police report. There was 2 bolts based off the GPS data point. He was there. Social says, so Officer Rasha interviewed Bart if he's clear. Ask if the old image is AI generated of the girl. We'll ask that on the next stream, brother. Someone says, Bart, why you, and then stop talking. That, bro, there was muting. I did hear that. Okay. Now, let's get through it, man. Now, folks, okay, come on. And ASG Marcus says, tip number ends in 63. The judge number ends in... Oh, so it was not the same number then? So why did Willie D say that then? Social says, that's illegal. This is where Tatum getting info. That's a fact. Crispy Crunchy says, yep, that tip line mess is BS too. Oh, damn, okay. Parallax After Mind, thank you, bro. Yo, Fila Speaks, thank you, bro. Your sound is good, King. Oh, thank you, man. You can't hear. All right, cool, thank you, man. Stop trying to... not facts, bro. They can hear me. She is an example of a Caribbean, bro, come on, bro. We don't... Bro, listen, bro. Listen, bro. Like, I rock with you, bro. But, bro, like, my rule is, bro, like, listen, bro. I call out Africans and Caribbeans who say Akata, but even though the word Akata is Nigeria, right? Like, there's not really like there's not Africans like outside Nigeria like who say that like widely, but I call out Africans who say Akata. So I gotta call out like anybody who say tether, bro, because again, like both those words are racial slurs, and it's offensive and it's just not. You feel me, bro? Like it's just foul, bro. You feel me? Like for example, bro, like as an African, if another African call a Black American Akata in front of me, I'm going in his jaw. Like that's how seriously I take it. I'm going in that African's jaw, like we rumbling, like that, like that's not cool, like that's foul, like we is rumbling for that, bruh. You feel me? Like it's foul, bro. Like again, I take Black liberation and prosperity seriously, bro. If a African say the word Akata in front of me, I'm going in his jaw. So why should anybody else be able to say the word tether, which is clearly a racial slur, right? You feel me, bro? You feel me? Like, it's not cool, bro. You feel me? Like, please don't use that, man. In my chat room, bro. Please don't use that, okay? Please don't use that, okay? It's a racial slur and it's dehumanizing, okay? I'm gonna see you guys in the next live stream, man. Again, tomorrow at 9 a.m. We're going live every day. I'm gonna see you guys, okay?